Happy Monday. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Happy Monday. What's up? What's up? Okay, let's get into this. Yes, Chance will be joining me later for some card pulls. That will be fun. I just asked him last minute. I love that he's always down. He's like, fuck yeah, let's go. It's the best. Okay. All right, my friends. So, as I was preparing my my slides here, which are finished, by the way. I didn't make the same mistake as last week. As I was finishing my slides, I got news that apparently, supposedly, allegedly, there was a missile launch towards or over Japan. So I don't know. I might pull up Japan's chart and look at the transits at some point this evening. We'll see how I feel about that. But yeah, shit's going down, or allegedly is going down, and I'm using that word because I don't have confirmation other than the initial news thing that I saw. And with Mercury having just stationed opposing Neptune, I honestly have no idea what's just propaganda and what's not at this point. So, fuck. Yeah. But anyway, we might talk about that. Cheers. Cheers. Okay. Woo. Good times. Alrighty. Let's go back to my slides here. Inspector Gadget. Ha, just kidding. Okay. The empath says, sorry if I'm being bitchy, it's the full moon. The moon says, fuck you, Stephanie, don't involve me into your psychosis. Yeah, so full moon this week. Yep, full moon this week. Something hey Cheney, something I'm trying to do is not just blame everything on the astrology. It's really easy to do. I know it is all propaganda, but it's crazy because it is all propaganda, yes, and there's astrological truths playing out at the same time, right? Like just real quick, I looked at Japan's chart, and Mars will be stationing in an exact square from Japan's natal Mars, from the chart, one of the charts that I found for them anyway. So anyway, it's interesting. There I am saying, hey, let's not blame the astrology, and then I'm like, yeah, it's Mars. Fuck. Oh god. Alright, so anyway, a couple of big things happening this week. Mercury will trine Pluto on Friday, and Sunday we have the full moon in Aries. There will be some aspects leading up to that. Those are just the main things that perfect this week. Next week, Mars will be square Neptune. And we'll probably talk about that at the end. Speaking of propaganda, actually. Good times. And yeah, let's just move ahead. So Monday, today, right, we have the moon in Capricorn, pretty much conjunct Pluto. So basically today, for me personally, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I got a lot of work done today, which was fantastic, which is it's a really stereotypical thing to say for a moon in Capricorn. Is like, oh, get your work done. But it's true. It's true. It's so true. So I was getting organized and banging out a project. Literally, I was tapping on some leather. So yeah, I don't know what you guys got done today, but it felt like a good day to just file things away and complete tasks or start tasks that hadn't been started that I'd been putting off. Oh, heck yeah. There you go. Stacy got legal docs sent in. Nice. It is beautiful leather. Thank you. Oh, man. What's up, Logan? Hello, Charlotte. Janie's in the house. Bird Dog. Ronan's in the house. Chance is in the house. Chris is in the house. Chris is in the cup. Apparently he got the first giggle in, so, I don't know. Gotta up my game, I guess. But anyway, that's Monday. Nice, Logan. That's awesome. Cat Moon getting things done. Me too, bud. Me too. All right. So tomorrow, Moon moves into Aquarius, and it will be trining. It'll be the opening trine from the sun, right? As you can see, sun in the first house there in Libra at 11 degrees. The moon will be, the moment that I took a snapshot at, the moon is at 6 degrees. But the moon moves an average of 12 degrees. So anywhere from 11 to 13-ish degrees a day. So it'll definitely trine the sun. Basically what that means is Tuesday is just a harmonious continuation. The moon won't conjunct Saturn until Wednesday. So really Tuesday, I'm seeing Tuesday as just a continuation of today's energy, right? Whatever you kicked off today, keep it going, keep rolling with it. Do your best to just continue the forward momentum that you've got going, basically. Wednesday, moon conjuncts with Saturn. Now, someone in one of the chats mentioned that there was an event happening for them on Wednesday. And then I looked at the chart and I was like, oh, that's really some beautiful symbolism for Wednesday's chart. I mean, when we're talking about moon, this is our emotions, right? How we're feeling, what helps us feel safe. And when it comes up to Saturn, Saturn can be, it can be an intense pressure. It can also be like cutting off something, especially in Aquarius. So sometimes this is, there's multiple ways to read every single transit. Sometimes this is an extreme pressure cooker, especially with the square to Uranus, and it's time to break free from some kind of constraint. Sometimes this is, Saturn cuts things off and is the power to say no, really. So for some people, Wednesday can be, well, this is an emotional tie, a karmic emotional tie, and it's time to really end this for good. And I just want to say this Saturn-Uranus square, this is the last time that they will be squared in this particular cycle, right? So after this, after Saturn turns direct, which is next week, I believe, they won't be in square aspect again, right? The next major aspect for these two will be the sextile, and then the inconjunct, and then the conjunction. So essentially, there's a major finality, right? Something is being finalized and completed, and you're cutting off something. All right. So for anybody that needs to do any kind of like literally karmic cord cutting, Wednesday would be a fantastic day for that. Just putting that out there. Thursday, Moon moves into Pisces, and we have a buildup. It's basically the day before Mercury trines Pluto. So with a lot of these aspects, right, especially if you're a sensitive individual, which I know most of you are, you'll feel it a day before, a day after, and all that lovely stuff. Some people feel it a couple days before. You know, it honestly really depends on the individual and if it's aspecting anything major in your chart. But what I would say essentially is Thursday you'll definitely feel it. Friday you'll feel it for sure. But basically, a trine is a harmonious aspect, right? They're both in earth signs. That's what a trine is. It's different modalities, but the same element. So you have Mercury in the mutable sign of Virgo, which is all about checking the facts, pulling up the receipts. What is the substantiated evidence, right, behind this thing? That's very much, especially late degree Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, after stationing direct, right? And then Pluto in Capricorn, as you guys know, this is very much about what needs to be broken down so that it can be rebuilt as far as the basic structures of society goes. So, and control structures, like basically any kind of hierarchy or thing that's been set out in order to control or provide some kind of structure or stability that can fall under Capricorn. Capricorn could also be traditions, right? It's not just politics. It's like a circle of grandmothers. Okay, it's old things, old people, old traditions. Pluto is this entire process of Pluto and Capricorn is bringing things to the surface that were rotting, that need to be taken care of, basically. They need to be composted. I think that's my favorite new word for Pluto. But anyway, this entire week, there's this energy of revealing information and things coming to the surface that we know we need to take care of, and we're being invited to purge those things. On Friday, Moon will be eventually conjuncting with Neptune in a sextile to Uranus in the North Node, in a trine to Lilith. We don't really need to talk about Lilith right now, but basically how we're going to be feeling on Friday as far as this kind of energy goes is we're taking those things that we know need to be removed from our life, right? What I just talked about for Thursday. And we're now seeing what we can build, right? What is the Taurus, beautiful, simple, and stable future North Node that we want to build? And Uranus there, I mean, it's not going to be stable right now, and often whatever we're trying to build is going to be risky, especially if it's different from the status quo, which is very much North Node and Uranus, especially if it's new, if it's never been done before. And Friday, I really feel like while the moon is in Pisces and sextiling these two outer planets, and making this like beautiful connection point between them, this is about, well, dare to dream, my friends. Dare to dream. That's basically it. The other thing you have going on here that I have circled is the sun is directly opposing Chiron. Chiron is in retrograde. Chiron has been in Aries for a long ass time. It's going to be in Aries for a long time. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this. I don't talk about it very much, but Chiron and Aries basically is, and by the way, shout out to Davin. Davin has been doing these amazing conversations about Chiron, and he's been putting in a ton of work. So just shout out to you, my brother. But anyway, Chiron and Aries is very much. There's so many ways you can look at it. It's both the wounding and the healing of the masculine. It's this. I don't know. I'd like to look at the healing that is possible with Chiron and just focus there for a moment. Okay, so with Aries, we're talking about individuality. We're talking about bodily autonomy, right? We're talking about the I am. Okay, also heads, literally. With Chiron and the sun opposing Chiron, this is kind of like really highlighting, especially the sun in Libra, which is in its fall. This is highlighting where there has been injustices as far as things like bodily autonomy and individual identity go. I'm sure you guys are very well aware there have been insane attacks upon basic factors of our identity, right? Such as gender or the family unit, or, you know, even just standing up and asking questions gets you labeled, right? And a label, that's an identity that someone else is putting onto you, right? Such as, you know, Canadians, apparently, I'm a member of a fringe minority with unacceptable views, and I'm racist and misogynist and extremist. I'm not mad about that. Not at all. Anyway, Friday, I just feel like there's going to be this, I don't know if I would say like backlash, but this upsurge in people deciding to stand up for themselves in different ways. Now, keep in mind, Venus is invisible at this point, so things relating to Venus houses, that's both Libra and Taurus, are going through challenges, okay? So it's just something to keep in mind, right? And I talked about that quite a bit last week. Venus is going through this death and rebirth cycle right now. So something else, basically just to kind of tie everything together. Yes, Libra is about justice and balance and beauty and equality and art and all these nice fluffy things. But those scales, you know, if they are incredibly out of balance, it's going to take something drastic to rebalance them, unfortunately. And just one other thing, Libra, the planet that is exalted, which means that is the happiest, basically, in that sign, is Saturn, right? Saturn, the lord of motherfucking karma, okay? Right? Like I said about Saturn earlier, it's the power to say no, it's boundaries. So these are things that the Libra archetype needs to develop, is boundaries, is the power to say no, and the power to, you know, stop things when they need to be stopped. So I'm just going to leave that at that for now. Saturday, moon ingresses into Aries, conjuncts with Jupiter, and we're leading into the full moon. I really, honestly, you guys, this full moon, I think is going to be really intense. And this week leading up to the full moon, I think we're just going to see a continuation and an escalation of the themes from the whole month, basically. I don't expect it to let off at all. Hopefully the full moon, which is on Sunday, is kind of like a pressure release valve, you know? Go back to Saturday. It's too scary. I don't want to talk about it. Oh god, I have to. But anyway, all right, Saturday. When that moon crosses into Aries, I really feel like, again, if you're a sensitive individual, you're probably going to feel this shift, especially as it hits Jupiter. It's a sensitive point in any chart, the 0 degree Aries, 0 degree Libra ingress. And this is basically, you know, if you have something to say, some burgeoning, intense emotion, a big feeling, Saturday, be careful. It might just blow the fuck up. I'm sorry for laughing. It's serious, but yeah, that's honestly, I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. So just spoiler. And Sunday's the full moon. Okay, so yeah, full moon, good times. So Aries full moon, all right. What did you begin in March of this year? This is how we look at moon cycles, right? The new moon in a sign, so the new moon in Aries, so March. There's something that you began. Sunday, you're seeing some kind of fruit or culmination or change of phase occur with whatever it is you started in March. There's several things circled here, as you can see. Anytime we're talking about a sign, it's also important to look at the ruling planet of that sign. So for Aries, right, where the moon will be, we have to look at Mars. Mars is in Gemini. Mars is not quite going to station yet. It's got about 2.5 degrees to go before it stations. But he's in a square to Neptune. And is hitting a lot of sensitive points in a lot of countries' charts, which is not fun. Yeah. Mars retrograde cycles are notoriously difficult. All right. I posted something on my Telegram, actually, a little write-up that I read about the loops that Mars does in the sky during his retrograde cycle. And I'll talk about that in a moment. I guess let's just focus on what the full moon is going to mean first, I guess. And we'll talk about that. Yeah. Okay. Stay on task, Kaylee. So full moon in Aries. All right. First of all, new and full moons bring in lunacy, literally. People lose their shit, and I don't know why. I've got some ideas. I have some ideas. There's some theories out there, whether it's parasite overload, whether it's, spirits or shadow aspects of your own self acting through you. Who knows? Regardless, full moons always bring a lot of emotional tension to the surface. In Aries, this is the sign of the warrior, okay? It's cliche, but it's true, and it is that way for a reason, so we have to pay attention to these archetypes. Just because we don't like them, right? I'm not saying anybody here doesn't like Aries as the warrior, but just saying. Just because we don't like them doesn't mean that they aren't true, okay? So full moon in Aries, right, with the sun in fall, right, when a planet is in fall, it means that it doesn't perform as well in that sign, right? And literally for us in the northern hemisphere, the sun is beginning its southerly descent, right? It's every day now, it's setting more and more and rising more and more to the south, and our days are getting shorter. This is why the sun is considered to be in fall in Aries. So it's said to be not as strong, okay? Moon in Aries is also not the favoritist placed. How do you like that grammar? The moon doesn't necessarily like being in Aries, okay? So this is not an easy lunation to go through, okay? My apologies if you are a Libra Aries person, okay? This is not a reflection on you. You're probably a badass, okay? But just saying, for everybody to experience this transit, okay? I gotta be really general with it. So anyway, full moon on Chiron with Jupiter in the sign with an invisible Venus. This is a difficult as fuck full moon, okay? I fully anticipate if you have not been on top of expressing yourself when frustrations arise, Sunday, I anticipate them to blow up. If you have been on top of that, you're like, hey, I'm going to address this situation head on, then you're going to have a much better time than if you hadn't, right? And I think that's true for, I think that's true pretty much all of the time. However, when it comes to these moon cycles, it's just amplified. So I have some other things circled. I've got the Mars square to Neptune circled. As I was saying, Mars rules Aries, so how this plays out has a lot to do with where Mars is. So Mars in Gemini, this is highlighting polarity, duality. This is highlighting difficult conversations, right? That's Mars in Gemini. Sometimes this can be really, really positive, right? Where we're able to see multiple sides to a situation. That's great. Yeah, that can be really helpful. However, Mars is in a square to Neptune, right? And it's building up to the square. It's not perfect yet. It will be perfect, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. Neptune brings this fog, right? Sometimes it brings deception. Sometimes it brings spirituality and beautiful stuff, but we're talking about a square aspect. So this is an invitation to build some skills, basically. That's a nice way of putting it's going to be difficult. Or the nice way of saying it's going to be difficult. I think that the full moon will be helping us see through either some of our own deception or see through some deception that someone else has done, right? When you have a Mars square Neptune aspect happening in the sky or happening like in a transit, it's basically somebody doing things, that's Mars, that are hidden Neptune, okay? So hidden actions coming to light or bearing fruit or manifesting, right? I also have Saturn circled here because, well, Saturn is aspecting the moon. In about, 2 degrees after the full moon is perfect, the moon will be sextiling Saturn. I'm hoping that is a supportive, helpful aspect for us. I'm hoping that will help us ground down this energy and put a stop to, again, that Saturn's energy is putting a stop to something. Will help us put a stop to overreactions, because that's definitely a huge potential red flag going on here. But who knows? I mean, Saturn is also in this closing square with Uranus, right? So Saturn's under some interesting tension as it is. So how much will he be able to help? I'm not sure. It's going to be an interesting day, that's for sure. So basically, my advice for Sunday, for this whole week, is take deep breaths. Right, we have a grand air trine, basically, by sign, right? Mars is in Gemini, the Sun and Venus are in Libra, and Saturn is in Aquarius. This is a huge focus on the air element for the entirety of this year, but for right now, I think the best thing that I could say is take deep breaths, pause, and breathe before reacting if you can. Try to respond versus react, right? That's a huge difference there. Reactions, you're just, right? Whereas if you're able to step back and just take a deep breath first, hopefully you can bring yourself back down into your body so that you're not just coming at different situations from a place of being triggered. And I don't mean the liberal, like, I'm triggered and I need a safe space. I mean, like, some past trauma is being triggered and you're reacting based off past situations rather than the present situation, okay? Yeah, that's what I got to say about that. Let's see. 33 comments in the chat. Fuck. I love you guys. Oh my god. Oh man, that's funny. Okay. Oof. How dare me? I don't know. Oh my god. Guys, what's up, Cody? Oh, Chance is here. What's up? Hey, Chance.
This is what I've been doing for like 20 minutes.
That's amazing. What's up?
I can hear it in my microphone in my headphones, so it's like, wow. Yeah,
Nice.
good time.
Heck yeah.
I'm fired up. I actually did enjoy that Capricorn moon action. You got a lot done. And
Nice.
as Logan said here, I beat the shit out of him with the forks, like extra brutal.
Did you really? Oh, Logan, dude, I'm glad you got a session, Logan. It's so funny. He wants me to pull a card for whether I think he should get a session. I'm like, obviously, I'm gonna say yes.
Thanks for all the advertising. Appreciate that.
So I'm reading through the comments. Oh my god.
I said, "How dare you?" I was talking to Cock for saying that he doesn't believe in C's. I mean, I get that C's can be K's and they can be S's, but what about CH? There's no ch sound without C. Just saying.
You go tell the Scottish that you don't believe in C's and see how that goes for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, crap. Qigong in the parking lot. You could do Qigong in the parking lot.
I like the idea of doing it on top of the car.
Yeah, why not? Oh, yeah. I'm still reading through the comments. Sorry. Oh, my God. There you go. What herbs are we harvesting? You can, whatever you got that's still growing, okay? Whatever you got that's still growing. I live in Canada, so my answer is going to be different from anywhere else in the world because there's a lot of stuff that is dying or is dead already. So lots of things I've already harvested. Yep, harvest pumpkin spice. Okay, Chris, guess what? Do you know how many of those spices are actually like anti-parasitic and really good for you? Go look it up. Oh man. Oh shit, I'm so behind.
Sometimes
Make every
you just
word
gotta give it up.
No,
I
I want to read it all.
It's not always possible.
Okay, I'm at the bottom now. Oh my god. Okay, what's up, Chance?
You heard
got
it.
lots
I got
done?
a tuning and I got a lot of audiobook work done today and went
Nice.
outside and the grocery store and all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
It's an awesome day.
Were you recording book?
Yeah. I'm now
For who?
72% done. 2% in a day is pretty good, actually.
That's pretty good. Is it for Dylan?
Yeah, his fourth book. It is Firetown.
Cool.
It's so much knowledge, and then like all these sources that I can then go look up and get more context because he's like we're finding the best stuff out of the ancient researchers and authors. Ancient being like 1800s ancient. Yeah, put headphones on. What are you doing? Because I could hear myself coming back a little bit, and I was getting.
There we go.
Producer Chance was getting mad.
Libra Moon Chance is getting all like, oh!
What is going on?
There we go. All right.
What do we want me to do today? I have multiple.
I don't know.
facts
What do you
I
want
could
to? What do you want to do today?
So maybe the chat will let me know. I've got I Ching as an option, or animals, or shamanic oracle. I was kind of feeling like an animal and a shamanic oracle.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
kinda
thinking
what I was
Shamanic Oracle sounds fucking badass.
Yeah,
Especially
I'm
with
really loving that deck.
Moon on Pluto today. I feel like that's good.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
really
feeling
good.
it. I'm just finding astrological reasons to justify it, but I think it's good.
Everything is astrology. I almost said not everything was astrology, but I don't like to lie.
You know what my teacher says? That astrology is the poetic breath of life. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. Listen to you. Being
It's
all
just word
beautiful and
salad.
stuff.
It's like Romy level. Romy level word salad. It sounds great, but like, what did you mean?
Poetic breath of life.
No,
It's the poetry that reflects life.
you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't as extreme as Roman. By the way, he's in the chat, so that's why I'm busting him. But
Yeah.
on the premiere last night. Thanks for coming on with Juan. We had a good episode about Pythagorean palaces.
I caught a little bit of it.
You
Not
never
all of
talk
it.
anymore. You're too busy.
I'm so busy. Yeah, no.
How dare you?
Oh man. But for real,
Feels like we're not even friends anymore. You're never in my class?
No! Just so busy. Yeah. No, between Sunday school and then Wednesday night and then doing homework and then, oh my god, yeah. Look at me explaining myself. Fuck you, Chance. You know I love you.
Yeah, so much on your last choice.
You're actually the first and only person that I asked for today, okay? Shut up.
All right, I'll take it.
Ooh, okay, friends.
On the full moons, and this is the last one before the full moon, I guess. So we'll call it good.
Exactly. I was like, well, I was totally cool with flying solo tonight, and then I was like, I'll see if Chance wants to come on, because I know he will. And then you did, so I was like, yay!
I was almost like, Moon and Capricorn, I could do some work, but I can't stay away.
Yes. Yep. Okay, see, there's some word salad. Astrology is more like the sweet, serene soup that strengthens the sapphire sulfur of the deep beating heart. Okay.
Astrology is more like the sweet, serene soup that strengthens the sapphire sulfur of the deep beating heart of Neptune's beautiful orifice. That's more of a right voice.
You guys are hilarious.
It's delicious. Great word salad there, Roman.
Right.
That's why we pay the big bucks.
Oh, okay. But for real, I think it's so funny. I laugh every single time when he's doing an interview, and he says this beautiful like string of words, and then he's got like 3 or 4 questions in there, but it's like not easy questions, they're deep questions, and then it's like the person has to like answer on the fly, but there's like 2 minutes left in the interview. It's like, what? It cracks me up. Oh man. Okay, there we go. All right, my friends, you know what, I'm looking forward to this week
because we're starting with Aries.
Well, no. We're going to start with Libra because it's Libra season. Okay.
All right.
But I am switching it up though. I'm going to do it by element. So we're going to do air first. Then we're going to do water. Then we're going to do fire. Then we're going to do earth.
I just say good luck with the sorting of that out, and I'm just going to follow your lead.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Oh man, I've already rearranged everything. I just want to pull up the chart so I've got that to look at. Good times. I had a lot of fucking coffee today, so that was a mistake. I should not have done that.
I was just thinking about, you were bringing up the whole like good time to release something or cut something off.
Yeah.
And I was reflecting on that, and I was like, well, this is good because I just got this Best Earth from Grounded Extracts that is some sort of magical, potent concoction for helping yourself with like attachments and addictions, and my coffee addiction's off the chart. And so I'm going to give that a shot, and shout out Grounded Extracts. They also sent me a huge amount of other tinctures and balms and products to try. I'm quite blessed.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember
how the Best Earth works if I can get off the caffeine.
Yeah, totally. What kind of tinctures did they send you?
Oh, like everything, like hemp and reishi.
Hemp tincture.
And another type of mushroom tincture, and I don't know, like 5 things total. Some CBD balm, really nice.
Ooh.
It's like a muscle soreness balm or whatever, and some lip balm, and
so there's probably CBD in there.
The other one was kratom, a kratom tincture.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, a tincture. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've never really tried kratom, so I've got a lot of options.
Romy does freestyle, like just randomly. It's fun.
I'm about it.
Yeah. Oh, coffee is beautiful, but I wasn't even drinking it because I was tired. I was working, and I just felt like having something warm to drink, and I love the taste of. I drink my coffee black because I'm crazy.
Of course.
And
what are you, a savage?
I am a savage, but also I don't have access to raw milk right now, so it's black. And yeah, yeah. Now I'm like, holy fuck. Okay. Well, okay, I'm going to blame astrology. Mercury just stationed direct like a day and a half, 2 days ago. So just putting that out there. Anyway. Okay. Starting with Libra. All right, let's get going. Let's get going. Libra. Cody, retrogrades, exactly. All of the retrogrades, except for Mars. For now. Okay, so let's talk about this full moon. Libra, full moon in Aries is your 7th house. So we're talking about partnerships. I'm also going to talk about where Mars is. Hold on a minute. Switching up how I'm looking at this. There we go. Okay, so full moon in the 7th house, and Mars is currently in your 9th house. All right, so what I would see with that, especially if you're a Libra rising, especially, since this full moon is about partnerships, right? Business partnerships, it could be marriage, partnerships, or spouse type situations. It could also be open enemies, but it's going to be playing out either with foreigners, that's the 9th house, like literally with foreigners, or with
like a laughing because of me?
No, I'm not actually, but now I am mentally, because that's weird. But anyway. That's fucking funny. But anyway, so partnership situations with foreigners, or with a teacher, or with somebody that you look up to as not necessarily an authority figure, but someone that you look up to for guidance, whether it's spiritual guidance or whether it is like educational guidance, right? Because that's the 9th house. You could actually also just be about to really reconsider some of your beliefs around what committed partnerships look like, right? So yeah, that's Libra. Yeah, and like for you, Chance, because that's your moon sign, just putting this out here. So this is how you would look at this if this was your moon. Your moon is quite literally representative of your emotional body, right? So if you are not a Libra rising, that's how it would literally play out for a Libra rising. If you're a Libra moon, then it would be like a much more subtle process. It's maybe less obvious to those on the outside anyway, unless you're psychic like me, apparently. Just kidding. Haha. But
well, maybe I'm the psychic one.
Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe we got some brain connections going. I don't know. Stop interrupting me. No, just kidding. That's not a rule. So if you're a moon, if you're the moon sign, okay, it'll play out more for how you feel, okay? It might not be a literal thing. I'm muting you. It might not be, oh my God, you're muted already. That's funny. Okay, I hope you guys understood that. We're all psychic, you goons. It's true. It's true. It's true. What's up, Gabriel? Hello, Mel. If you're ready to go, you can go. I'm still shuffling.
All right, I'll do it. So, I'm ready.
You're fired.
The Libra advice about Saturn and like boundaries and saying no. Mm-hmm. Just like, okay, here you go. We're gonna just repeat that. So I got the wild woman. All right. This came up in here she is. She wilding out. But it came up upside down, so this carries the message of like where are you in excess? Can you pinpoint somewhere in your current behavior where you're in excess? Probably like for me, like I just said, excess coffee. So the message here about Wild Woman is regarding life being basically water or fluid. And so if you're polluting your own waters, that is actually, even if you think that like you've got it under control or it's only affecting you, it flows downstream to everybody and everything that you're connected to, which is everybody and everything. So it's basically giving you the heads up of where you may have, it flows in many ways. So wherever you may have excess going on, and like the word is literally imbalance in the book for this. So there you go, Libra. Wherever you have excess going on, it may be connected to some kind of obsessive thinking or behavior out like that isn't the thing itself that is the imbalance thing. So you got to look for where the fluidity of life can show you how one thing is connected to another. And maybe if you're having trouble letting go of the one thing, then try working on the other, if that makes sense. Otherwise, you might become a hungry ghost. If you can, I think if you die with like major obsessions and addictions, you maybe do the whole like ghost attachment onto other beings if you're not careful. So I don't think anybody here has run the risk of that. We're all pretty conscious. But then the Wild Woman, she's got her freak flag and it's totally flying. And the animal card that I got from the lovely Jenny B, who just joined in the chat, she gave me this awesome deck. The animal is peacock spirit. So, start peacocking it. It's let it shine is the message. So basically, do you have the freedom and the fun to wiggle and shake your rump or whatever it is that may incorporate letting it shine for you? And is there something in excess that weighs you down and keeps you from doing that? And maybe that's how you'll know if you have excess somewhere or not, is if you are finding yourself very rarely dancing or spotlighting or whatever. So yeah, that's it.
Nice. I like that. What I pulled for Libra is the Four of Pentacles, but reversed. So interesting, these reversals. So what I would say about that is, well, often with the Four, I see it as some kind of stability, right? Depending on the suit, right? It could actually be that you're being asked to let go of something. I struggle with this card a little bit because I don't see it how a lot of people see it. Some tarot readers like to see it as like hoarding and holding on to things too much. And in this case, I do see that for this card. So being that it's coming out reversed, to me, it's saying that there's something that you're keeping locked up really tight and it needs to be released.
Or maybe it is going to get released because of the reversal.
Right.
It's like double message, like now's the time.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm also thinking about how Libra, especially you, you're going to be going through Pluto squares, right? The sun will be squaring Pluto. And that is definitely bringing up this energy of whatever is rotting needs to be cut out. And the square is like the final boss battle before the conjunction, right? So let's like letting the cat out of the bag. That's exactly the image that's coming to mind. It's the cat getting let out of the bag. So I would say if you need to come clean about something, come clean about it. Or if you're trying to contain something, right, some event from unfolding, this kind of full moon energy is the time when it's going to come, like you're not going to be able to control it, basically. So that's that's what I got to say about that.
Come clean or get clean. One of those.
Free. Never mind.
Maybe that's like what the TikTok is warning too. Is like if you don't clean this up, it's going to be broadcast everywhere. They'll see it on your tail feathers. You guys shit on your tail feathers, bro.
Yeah, poopy chickens are not fun.
there's that too.
Yep. Okay. Aquarius. Okay, Aqua. So for you guys, this will be full moon in your third house. Okay. So Libra is the 9th. Aries is the 3rd, right? So full moon in the 3rd house. And Mars is in your 5th house. So this full moon will be involving either just a few 3rd house significations. Siblings is one, right? Your neighborhood is another, or just the skills and the tools that you have on a more psychological basis. So for you, I see this as like an upgrade, a much needed upgrade to a skill set or a number of tools that you have. And something that's kind of fun to think about is like, what about Aries is a tool set for Aquarius? And if you just think, allow me to walk you through this real quick, okay? So if Aquarius is all about innovation and breaking free from something and being their own eclectic individual, right? And this energy of revolution and all that. And well, they can't be a part of the crowd then. They have to break free from the crowd because there's no innovation if you're just following along with consensus reality. That's not Aquarius. Aquarius does not follow consensus reality. They're very weird for a reason. They have to be, right? That's your path. With Aries as the 3rd house, this full moon is like really, for some of you, this is going to be you really realizing, hey, this set structured thing, well, I don't really belong in that set structured thing. And I have to step out and innovate and be a leader in some way. That's the energy of Aries, to be the first, right? So I have to speak and be the first to say these things. I have to develop this skill or this tool and be the first to do so, because that's the only way that we're going to achieve this Aquarius thing, right? So this full moon is really highlighting that. And with Mars being in the 5th house, the 5th house is about pleasure, it's about fun, it's about risk, games. Like I think of gamifying some kind of tool set, right? Like how do you make it fun, right? So there's something that you need to make fun. For some of you, this could just quite literally be playing out as like starting some kind of romance with someone from your neighborhood, right? Like that's 5th house, 3rd house. Yeah, that's a fun way to look at it. But yeah, so some things to think about. Oh, Ronan, you're an Aqua. That's cool.
I was trying to type out the order that I think you're going in. I was almost there, but now I think it's my turn to talk about cards.
Well, I'm doing each element, and I'm going cardinal, fixed, mutable.
Yeah, so I'm basically correct in the way I was typing it out, and I just need to type Taurus.
The most confusing.
I just need to type Taurus, and then let's see, Virgo. Virgo's last. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Simple. Duh.
Going by the elements. I love you guys. Good luck.
Okay,
Good
so what I got
luck.
for Aquarius, 2 cards fell out from the Shaman Oracle. So we have the completion card, but it is upside down. But I don't think that matters very much because it's an Ouroboros, so it's kind of the same in every direction. No, it matters. The other card that fell out is the giveaway. So the giveaway and completion, leading me to think that there's something going on that you want to attain or complete, some project or some life change, or something that you want to receive maybe, or they could be helpful to you to receive and you don't know it's coming. And think about where, if you are inviting the new into your life or wanting to complete a phase of life so that you can move into another phase, look at how you can give away something in the sense of let it go, or actually maybe even bestow a gift on somebody, you know? Universe is a mirror structure, so find the gift that you can most easily give that isn't maybe harmful or a major blow of a sacrifice, give that. And, with no expectation, but there could be something about the energy of giving away or letting go that allows you to complete something that needs to complete or give you a sense of completion. That's the thing about enlightenment. It's a destructive process. It's more about getting stuff out of the way that isn't you rather than bolting anything on. So there's that. And then the crow spirit. Crow spirit is about co-create. Co-create with spirit. So that is a perfect example of what I just said, that, we're these yin yang batteries, and it can't be all give. It can't be all receive. You got to let go of something that you're holding to get something new. That all makes sense, I hope.
I think so. Maybe.
Are you good? Do you want me to talk more?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, dude. So instructions are in the description box below for how to get a personal reading. And just like Crone said, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't give legal advice. I can look and see what the cards say about how it might go. But for something like that, I would recommend doing a private reading rather than something public like this. But again, I mean, that's up to you. And welcome to the channel. It's cool actually that there's new people coming in. That's exciting actually. Because yeah. Anyway, I love you guys.
Make sure you guys in the chat give them the hazing ritual.
I don't know what the hazing ritual is.
That's okay. It doesn't involve you.
Okay. Great. All right. Aquarius, what I pulled for you is the Six of Pentacles. So with the Six of Pentacles, right, we see the six is about some kind of balance being restored, right? Hopefully. And sometimes this involves, it's interesting that you were talking about gifts. Well, that was part of what you were talking about anyway, because, I mean, literally you see somebody handing over coins, right? And there's this balance on this image between summer and winter. So that's kind of neat. It's like there's some kind of equalization that is going to or needs to happen. So maybe, Aquarius, you could ask yourself some things like, where in my relationships, because third house, it's not just siblings, it can be like really close friendships. Like, how most of you probably have that one friend that you consider like a brother or a sister, right? Like that's third house friends. Riot is giggling. Is that the hazing ritual? Anyway.
No, that's the outcome.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I think Jenny got it. Tickle fight is the ritual.
It's placenta talk, isn't it?
You have to eat a burger with placenta as the bun.
You guys are weird. Anyway, speaking of Aquarius energy. Anyway, the Six of Pentacles, as we're saying, some kind of equalization is going to occur. Or needs to occur, right? So something you could consider is, where in my relationships am I, not, what feels uneven, or am I giving more than I'm getting back? And maybe with this full moon, you could really consider, where do I need to speak up for myself, right? In order to balance out something that is out of balance, right? Because full moon, third house, Aries, you need to speak up for yourself.
Yeah, that card, completion, in an upside down form as it came up, is like, don't be afraid of hurting anyone's feelings. That is part of the message.
I like that. And yeah, I mean, this is a pentacle card. It's not about feelings at all. It's about concrete reality and the physical 3D reality. It's not about feelings. It's about correcting something. Yeah. All right, Gemini.
Gemini. Gemini.
Thanks, Chance. Okay.
Learn from the best.
Gemini.
Can you go first? I want to riff off of what you say more than I want to go first.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to go first?
If you, I mean, may you?
Okay.
May I?
All right. Yeah, we can do it that way. I mean, yeah, I like to give some time for shuffling, but yeah, we can figure this out. You want to riff on what I say? That's cool. The order I'm down with that.
Then you'll have time for shuffling while I'm doing my thing. And just, this would be the one time where we have to dance around that problem.
I'm just shuffling right now.
Yeah, just shuffle right now, and Gabriel.
Just shuffle right now.
We're going to talk to Gabriel about placenta recipes. We, of course, know the placenta casserole. There's the placenta capsule. That is a bit more boring. There's a placenta salad.
Oh, my God. I apologize to anybody that's new here. We talk about really weird shit. Anyway, so for Gemini, so Aries, this full or
tacos.
For the Aries full moon, it'll be in your 11th house. Okay. So
wait. It's placenticos. It's like placenta plus tacos, placenticos. And I'm done. You don't have to know me.
Muting you. Oh my god. Okay. That's okay. You know what, Stacey? I'm still coming to accept my own weirdness. You know what I mean? Anyway. Okay, so what is life? All right, so
cringe.
Right, pretty much. That's what Peace Dealer would tell me. Embrace the cringe. Gemini. Aries is your 11th house. So for you, we're talking about our long-term hopes, dreams, wishes, rewards from good work done. That's the 11th house. Like quite literally like promotions and stuff like that. That's 11th house. With the full moon in the 11th house, you might actually be seeing like literally you could be promoted or given an opportunity within your wider social network to, level up a little bit. I'm saying this because Mars, the ruler of this moon, is in your first house. So just be working your ass off, which is great. And if you are, keep doing that. It will pay off, especially if what you're doing in some way is aimed at helping you achieve some longer reaching goal. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. What else could that be? Yeah, we're going to go with that. That sounds good. And for cards, oh man. Yeah, my channel is not big enough to do the placenta shuffle. Oh my god. My channel's not big enough for Google to allow me to accept, or YouTube, Google, whatever. The Archon overlords won't let me accept super chats. So
hey, I've got like 5,000 subscribers and I'm not allowed either.
Yeah, because you talk about really controversial conspiracy shit.
Nazi thought crime. No,
you are a thought criminal. You're not allowed to get money from the Google's machine monster. None for you. So unfortunately, it's especially for Americans, right? Like if you're Canadian, there's other options, but for Americans, it's PayPal or crypto. That's what I got to work with. But anyway. Oh, so you did figure out PayPal. Okay, that's good. All right, Gemini. This one wants to come out. Oh, the King of Cups. Okay. Oh, reversed. Okay. Okay, Gemini. They do, apparently. It's pretty gnarly. So, Gemini, we got the King of Cups for you. This came out a number of times last week. I think that's really interesting. So, a continuation of that theme. Okay, so with the King of Cups for you, Gemini, what I'm potentially seeing here is, well, you know what? So Sun and Venus are in your fifth house of fun and pleasure and romance. Okay. So that is one aspect of this full moon. The full moon is always an opposition of sun and moon. Okay. So sun's on one side, moon's on the other. Sun's in the house of fun and pleasure and joy, and very much like, oh, bow chicka bow bow. Moon, though, moon is what we're focusing on this week, but the full moon is just one tiny portion of the whole month, right? It's a culmination of something, obviously, right? So it's almost like there's a need to balance with the King of Cups coming out, a need to balance what you find fun and pleasurable and enjoyable, right? Your art. That's fifth house. And Venus, by the way, Venus rejoices in the fifth house. So if you're a Gemini rising, especially, this is a excellent time for all kinds of heart cup centered activities. Okay, absolutely beautiful. With the full moon, you might just need to be trying to balance out, or there could be a challenge for you for balancing out your work home life dynamic, right? Because the 11th house is your wider social network and the rewards you get from work, and fifth house is fun and joy and pleasure. That's an interesting balance to try to make. And with Mars in your first house, some Geminis will be just overloaded with activity, right? That's very much Mars in the first house. Just be careful to keep that axis balanced, or that Mars may come out in other ways that are less enjoyable, right? Like, I don't want to list possibilities because we don't need to, but it's all about channeling that. It's all about literally though. It's all about channeling that Mars energy in healthy ways so that we can avoid the unhealthy ways. Hey, that's cool. That's fun. What are you wearing? Don't answer that. What color are you wearing?
What are you wearing? Somebody in one of my thoughts last night said, "Take your pants off," and I was like, "How dare you?
How dare you sexualize me?"
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Yep.
I think they were talking to Romy though.
That's all right. Hilarious.
So Gemini, 2 cards fell out again. Appropriate for Gemini, of course. And also very appropriate for Gemini is the first one is wind. The wind. So this has a variety of, I guess I'll show the picture a little better. It's just like, a wind lady. I have a very bright glare. Yeah, whatever, you get it. So the wind, if you wanted to, you could like go find out what direction the wind is blowing for you right now, or maybe look it up. I don't know. And it says, so the wind is representing change, right? Which type of change for you? Maybe it's one of these, maybe it's a blend of all of them, but it's south would be change in helping you develop a new sense of trust that will allow you to discard habits or beliefs about yourself that you don't need anymore. West would be about introspection, making big decisions, letting go of attachments, like final decisions where there's no going back type decisions. North would be change towards something to get strength and wisdom out of it. East would be improving your level of vision, clarity, purpose. So wind is basically like there's some kind of big change coming. Maybe it's time to break out of routines and what's automatic, or maybe you've got a big life decision coming up, or you've made the decision, but like the carrying it out is coming. Either way, because this is wind and it's air, go for it. And like, be aware that even if there are hard conversations that might be required, you are able to, at this time, clearly communicate and be understood whenever you go about, telling whoever you need to tell, whatever the change might be. And then the other card that came out is the Holy Mountain. So the Holy Mountain is about going on some sort of a pilgrimage or trip, maybe to a sacred site, maybe to an actual mountain, maybe there's a particular like ruin there or structure that could serve as an altar for you to, make your prayers or set your intentions for the change that the wind is foretelling. Or maybe you bring your own altar with you, bring your own sacred tools with you. And then we have the koi fish spirit. Koi fish. Well, hold on. Let me say this about the holy mountain. It might also just be indicating that rather than going and finding an actual mountain, to go for a higher perspective on something that maybe you're having challenge with right now in terms of changes in your life. So seek a higher perspective, or literally go to a mountain or something like that. Those could be in the cards for you, Gemini. And then the koi fish is about the message of there is always enough. So maybe the change has got some sort of financial aspect to it, or it's expensive, or who knows, you're buying a house, any of these possibilities, or you're going on a big trip, or you're moving, and you're getting the reminder right now that there's always enough. Even if, you empty your bank account tomorrow, it will fill up again, and that your own health and your own trust in nature's ability to reciprocate to you what is right for you, if you do what is right for you, then you don't have to worry about it. What you need will show up and is actually already there in your environment.
I like that. Good stuff.
BRB.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so gonna take a momentary pause on the signs to do the personal reading for fun. Fun for all. Aries sun. That's cool. You want to know about how this legal thing is going to go for you. Well, I have no other context other than that, so this is going to be interesting. Let's see what we're up, shall we? Steve. Yeah. Sorry, my apologies. I thought you said Steve, and then I was like, I don't remember. Just momentary panic there. It's all good. Yeah, that's interesting. Do you know your rising sign by chance? So Sun in Aries, sure, but do you know what your rising sign is? This is important information. Chance is back. Chance, will you also pull a card for our friend here?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also going to light up this incense. It is
nice.
The Aries blend from Tippecanoe Herbs. You got to see the packaging. Put me back.
Okay, bring me back. Let me back in.
Me back. Yeah, dude. Kyle at Tippecanoe Herbs makes these astrologically inspired hand-dipped incenses. This one's got
I love that.
Dragon's blood, cedar wood. I love cedar wood so much.
Ooh,
Cassia propolis, copal, hibiscus, red wine, clove, and mako bark. So
that sounds luxurious as fuck.
Yeah, it is. It's so luxurious.
Wow, that sounds so cool.
Do we want a shaman card? I think that's probably what we want. Or you know what? I think this situation calls for the I Ching.
Yes, I like that. April 17th. Well, yeah. So your rising sign, my friend. Spark up that hibiscus. So yeah, your rising sign is determined by what time of the day you were born, right? So yes, April 17th is Sun in Aries.
I wish you could smell this.
I bet it smells fucking delicious. But what time of the day you were born will change your rising sign. And the rising sign, by the way, the ascendant, for anybody that doesn't know, rising sign and ascendant, those are two words that mean the same thing, basically. There's some technical nuance in there, but it doesn't matter. And that is the sign that is rising on the eastern horizon when you were born. So anyway.
Yeah, and to look that up, you need the day of birth, the year, and the time of day and the location. So if you don't know, it's okay, but you could look it up for yourself that way.
It's all good. It just gives me more context for what houses things are falling into. But It's all good. I will allow the tarot to speak and just go from there. And cedar is beautiful. We have this cedar in our front that when my mom first moved into this house, yes, I live with my mother. I pay her rent. Shut up. Anyway, when we first moved here, it was not doing well. There was a lot of overgrown stuff on the property. And we cut out one tree that was like dying. And then the next year, the cedar went poof. And now this year, there are all of these little pods with seeds hanging all over the tree. It's just full of them. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I've never seen a cedar do that before. Okay, back to shuffling. One more.
You're getting the full ticket shuffle.
Right.
This ain't no half shuffle.
Oh, look at you. Chance is pulling out the coins for you, my friend.
The coins never lie.
The coins never lie.
Ooh.
Cedar is super protective. Absolutely. I love that came up right now. Okay, so I'll go through the cards that I got while Chance is doing the rest of his coin toss.
Casting.
Yeah.
I'm casting coins.
Casting coins. This was so sick. All right. So the first card that came up.
Context that had something to do with the legal thing?
A legal thing. Yeah, that is all of the context that I got so far is
things, man.
There's a legal thing coming up and he wants to know how it's going to go. Okay, so we
can't tell you how it'll go, but we can tell you how to go in.
Yep. I like that. I like that a lot. And sometimes what I found with the tarot is that sometimes it just describes more about the situation that's happening as it's happening. I don't know. That's how it's been going for me anyway. Okay, so anyway, I have two court cards that came out on either side of the Seven of Swords. So we have the Queen of Swords that came out first. All right. So two queen energies, actually. Now, this does not necessarily mean that it's referring to a literal physical female. It's just the feminine archetype, right? So with the Queen of Wands coming out first, that was the first card. It was like immediately like, bam, in your face. So the Queen of Wands is an archetype. This is somebody that is healthy. Queen of Wands is a leader, right? She's spiritually fueled. She's passionate. She is ready to take charge. It's literally an Aries energy, actually. So like this could actually be representing you. Maybe, maybe not. You got to let us know how it lands for you. But anyway, this is somebody that has very strong beliefs and convictions, basically. Okay. We'll leave it at that for now. The Seven of Swords, all right, in this instance, since we're talking about a legal battle that's going on, the Seven of Swords, I see it as somebody is or was trying to be manipulative or sneaky or underhanded or, you know, one of those kind of themes, right? They're trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, right? That's one way to look at the Seven of Swords. Another way that the Seven of Swords can be playing out is just, instead of it being like a negative connotation, it could just literally be trying to outwit somebody, right? It's not necessarily good or bad. It's just this energy of trying to control or manipulate a situation mentally, okay? Now, Seven of Swords, the seven is the energy of initiation. Actually, it's a very magical number. It is about being put into a situation, right, that's usually outside of your control. Not always, sometimes. But the situation is a major test, right? This is something that you must go through, and you must go through skillfully in order to advance to the next octave, the next level up, the continuation on the journey, basically, right? So there's that, all right? And then the third card that I pulled is the Queen of Swords. This one was very reluctant to come out. She didn't want to come out. She didn't want to be shown, but she did eventually be like, oh, okay, all right, here I am. And I'm kind of seeing that as like This is actually the energy of Libra. So this is interesting actually because this is Aries, this is Libra. So there's your full moon energy right there. And also, side note, astro nerd moment, when you're going to court, your opponent, right, the defendant and the plaintiff, the other person is literally the seventh house from you. So it's literally the full moon and Aries energy in the cards. So that's mind blowing. But anyway, like
Yeah,
literally,
they're both, it's
trippy.
fire and air, so it's almost like both sides are plaintiffs almost. Like they're,
Yeah, kind of.
you know, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
legal speak. They both have something to say. It's not no, like both, maybe those are the opposing sides. I don't know, just thinking.
Yeah. So it's almost like neither of these queens came out reversed, right? They're both upright. So it's almost like both sides of the situation have like some kind of ground to stand on, right? I mean, literally, the Queen of Wands has both feet on the ground, legs splayed, because she's much more of a masculine queen than all of the other ones, right? She's like, I am the commander of my space, motherfuckers. But the Queen of Swords, interestingly, has no shoes on, and she's sitting rather on rock. So the Queen of Swords is very much a it's this Libra energy of this is the just and right thing to do. So I'm kind of seeing this as like, no matter what plays out, justice, quote unquote, will be served. So it's kind of hard to say whether either of these queens is you, right? I'm definitely feeling the Queen of Wands is more likely you. And the Queen of Swords could be just the act, like this could be quite literally a fair and just judge that is not quick to decide, right? Because she was hesitant to come out, right? So she's almost like not necessarily going to.
I think there's a delayed judgment based on the I Ching.
Oh, interesting. That's really interesting how that plays with the symbolism of the cards coming out. But yeah, so it's like she's not quick to decide. She's going to take her time, she or he, whatever. It's going to take her time to make sure that it's the right judgment. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's kind of just what I'm picking up just on the cards.
Yeah, so I cast, when you cast coins, you sometimes get 2 cards or 2 hexagrams, and so this was the case here. So the beginning situation is deliverance, which that's a good portent, if you will. It's the element of lightning or the arousal energy over the water, the abyssal, the deep water. So it's like the moment when the storm comes and the clouds were swelling and it's windy and crazy, and then they just explode and it's a huge storm, but it's a good feeling moment. It's like a tension is finally broken. Maybe there's been a lot of tension leading up to whatever the situation is that you're talking about, nervous about it, worried about the storm is coming, maybe like potentially facing a conviction and hoping for the best outcome. So the deliverance energy is about like a moment of illumination and relief. So in context with the changing line is turning it into number 64, which is before completion. So these 2 things in context, the idea that you want to go into this with would be, confidence that the stress of leading up to all this is going to be relieved, that maybe, the metaphorical axe over the head has been stayed, but that whatever the situation is, it ain't over yet. And if you want to continue if you want this to wind up with a solution that is positive and to your benefit, then be aware that you're walking on thin ice, literally. That's what before completion's about. It's the fire over the deep water. So it's like the metaphor of walking on ice, and that the ice is kind of thin. So take careful steps going forward. Be aware that, you could have further shaking of your faith or doubt coming up after this deliverance energy and this relief. And what you want to do is hold on to the trust and the feeling of that relief whenever you have it, so that you carry the energy of confidence moving into the next stage. Maybe there's another trial or another hearing or whatever. and that whatever you can do to be in as high level of moral rectitude as possible, and maybe if you had some fault in whatever the situation is, make sure that you're no longer engaging in possible immorality, deceit, anything that maybe brought you to the situation that was of your own doing, because you want to get across that frozen water without falling in, right? So that's what the I Ching has to say. Gonna be a relief, but it ain't over.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I really like how the I Ching rounds it out like that. So appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I Ching's actually really good for like fortune telling. For asking about that's kind of what it's for, asking about
like
the
that.
outcome of something.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we at? We are on Cancer. Moving into the
Cancer.
water. Cancer. Cancer. Yeah. I mean, regardless of what sign he is, right? Regardless of what sign he is, it's more about how you are presenting and how you are coming into the situation, right? That's the only thing you can control at the end of the day, is how you are presenting yourself and your case to the judge, right? And how you are doing whatever you can in your power to remedy the situation, right? That's the only things that you can control. So I wouldn't worry about what his sign is or anything like that. It's just about hoping that the judge is on
the
your
right
side.
thing will be done by you.
Exactly. Okay, I just got chills.
I'm like that. I'm a chiller. Stone cold chiller.
He's a chiller. Okay, anyway, Cancer. Oh man. Okay, full moon in your 10th, Cancer. Do 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 do. Now, I don't know why Pawn Shop just popped into my head. But anyway, just got Sublime on the mind, I guess. All right, so full moon in your 10th house, my friends. Alrighty, so the 10th house is about fame, public image, career, right? Vocation. This is your 10th house. The legacy or the legend that you're going to leave, the mark you're going to leave on the world, that's your 10th house. With Jupiter up here, you've been building up a really cool legend. Okay, Cancer. It's always important to balance out private and public life. Okay, your home life, 4th house, what's going on at home. I've talked about that a lot for you, Cancer, actually, the 4th house stuff. So let's not get stuck there. Let's focus on the 10th right now. There's something that is coming to fruition and really manifesting itself, right? Whether it is a career path that you've taken that is just now like really bearing fruit for you, or whether it's just like really beginning to make your mark and making some kind of headway as far as like your career goes, whether it's like advancements, which is more 11th house, or if it's just like just you're entering a new phase as far as your career goes, and it's beautiful to see. So keep on that path, right? Now with Mars being in your 12th house, there could be some hidden elements. And it could actually, how would I say that? It's almost like you need to go and be by yourself and balance out like being in the public and then being isolated, or do some like really intense deep dive reading, right? Or take more time for meditation, or there could even be like dreams coming up. That's 12th house. Dreams coming up that are guiding you for about like the next step to take in your career, right? Like something like that is coming up. So pay attention to your dreams basically while Mars is in your 12th. And if you are experiencing stuff where it's like, okay, I really need to take a break, then listen to that too, right? Like listen to your body. You need to listen to your body. I think that's my advice for everybody, is just listen to your body. What else? Yeah. Let us know how it goes.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Oh, okay. Alrighty then. I was gonna tell a story, but
I like
okay.
this order. I like you read this. You tell us the astrology, then I'll do cards, and then you do cards.
And okay, and okay, we're switching it up again. I'll allow it. And then yeah, if you want to riff on the cards that I pull, that's cool too. I'm down with that.
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, so we got for Cancer the drum. Are you marching to the beat of your own drum, or are you trying to fit the rhythm of somebody else's thing and it's not really working out? Like, are you dancing like a nerdy dad at like a rapist concert? I don't know. What I mean by that is like, this is coming up again as a flipped upside down. So it's giving the indication that there's some kind of role or mold that you don't really fit into, but you've been trying to make yourself fit into it. Maybe you did for a time, but like Kaylee said about the body, is there something like, are you ignoring something in your body that tells you, whenever you get whenever they send you the TPS report at the office and you're like, you literally just feel your shoulders just tense up and you're like, not this again. You want to puke when they pile on the next thing for you to work on, or maybe a relationship, or maybe like a roommate when they come into the room. Are you ignoring the little subtle clue of like a defensive posture, or the brace for impact, that type of thing? So it's basically, the drum is saying, is there something not in tune that you could maybe change and move on from it and find what is really more your speed? And the porcupine spirit is reaffirming that message. It says, time for beginner mind. So that is like, hey, let's look at the porcupine again. I didn't show it very long. It's a pretty fucking litty porcupine.
I love that song.
I know Gabriel's having some echidna excitement right now. So, time for beginner mind. The question is, are you trying to make something work that isn't, and is it time to do something new? Basically, are you? And the way you'll know that is if there's something or somebody in your life where you just automatically feel defensive about that energy. And maybe you're not like defensive as in you're going to stab them, but defensive like your posture, you feel it in your gut. You find yourself having trouble articulating yourself around them or in the situation. And it definitely, I feel like it could pertain to work stuff. It could pertain to anything that gives you a feeling of defensiveness or a feeling of nausea, or like the body never lies. So maybe you've had some kind of symptomatic issues or low energy issues, and you're not putting two and two together that it's related to something that you're trying to make work that doesn't fit. And maybe you can move on. Maybe you can try something new. You've probably already known about this for a long time and maybe just kind of had to hide it or ignore it. But Cancer, there's nobody that gets more sympathetic feeling in their body than you whenever something ain't right. In my opinion, I think Cancer, probably Scorpio maybe is up there. Water signs in general, they're going to feel a lot of the empathy of emotional situations or dissonance, non-harmony. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, so I definitely switched up the order because I'm a crazy person, but also it's Libra season, and Mercury gestation direct, and I have all these astrological reasons. But yeah, I switched up the order. I did air first. Now I'm doing water. So Aquarius was the second sign done. So I'm doing cardinal, fixed, mutable, right? So just say that casually as if everybody knows. Sorry, guys.
Remember a lesson. Memorize this.
Did you do your homework? Yep.
So next will be Scorpio, and then it'll be Pisces. If you
Yes.
guys want to know like what's up, and then we're gonna get into Aries, Leo, Sagittarius.
Yes. Yeah, dude, I had some crazy dreams last night as well. Just kind of responding to the chat. Yeah, craziness. Love it. Also, welcome, Daphne. I don't think I've seen you before. Hello. Okay. Okay. Cancer. Yeah, it's funny because I didn't really necessarily see anything specific in the astrology about the body, but now that I think about it, the fourth house is like the subterranean realm, and from a psychological perspective, I mean, it's the home, right? But from a psychological perspective, if you're looking at the astrology chart from that way, it's stuff that we bury. And with the sun being in Libra right now, it's highlighting things that we may have buried, right?
And
so if
that,
there's
like,
stuff,
to translate that to American English, it's buried. I know that it looks like buried in the spelling, but we say buried.
Yeah, anyway, so shut up. So oh man. Yeah, Amanda, you're right on time. Yeah, what up to the Canadians in the chat? What's up? What's up? Just so far, are you, bud? Okay, anyway. So Cancer, what I got for you is the 9 of Wands. All right, 9 of Wands. Do. Okay.
The phallus. Us doing that for RV Nez Beats.
I've been reading that as runes beats. Now you gotta tell us how it's pronounced.
Oh, it's
Giving
her.
her.
You're right. I forgot that the V is like a U. I should realize that,
yeah.
being a philologist and all.
I think it makes sense. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, so 9 of Wands. All right, you dirty motherfuckers. Okay, so 9 of Wands, right? You're the worst. I'm never bringing you back on ever again.
This is like my favorite stream to come on. The giggle quotient compared to other shows is not even comparable.
It's true.
And the cackles, I don't even think there are any cackles on other shows.
No, there aren't. Really? Nobody else gets it?
Time.
It's because they're dumb. Until next time. I fucking love that. Okay, anyway, for real though. 9 of Wands, my friends. Cancer, okay? Look, you've been fucking going through it. I know. I live with a Cancer rising. I know. Pluto's been in your 7th house, pulling up all of the shit that you don't want to look at in regards to relationships and committed relationships. You have to look at this. When the sun squares Pluto later this month, if you haven't been dealing with it, it's going to force you to deal with it. This full moon, I think it's beautiful because you've been working really hard. You deserve whatever it is that's coming for you as far as career goes. So do not allow bullshit from other areas of life to sabotage all of the work that you've put in. Now, with the 9 of Wands, this is saying, I mean, it's echoing exactly what I just said. You've been working really hard towards this, okay? And the 9 is so close to the point of completion. So close. There's just a little bit more to go before you finally got it. And this guy looks haggard as fuck, okay? His arm's busted, but look at that. Look at his face.
He just needs an ice cream Sammy.
He might, but he's also extremely determined to finish what he's saying without being interrupted. Motherfucker. Yeah, I love this, okay? Because
I can add commentary. You all heard it.
Right. 9 of Wands is beautiful energy. So keep going. Don't quit. You almost got this. You got this, Cancer, okay? You got this. That's all I gotta say. Yo, we could say they're on inside of your two wolves. One is Skeletor. The other one's He-Man. Yeah. Oh man. Chance is not cackling enough. One is evil. One is evil. Alright. Scorpio. Scorpio! I picture Rufio and Hook in my head every time I say that. Just so you know. Okay, Scorpio. This is a full moon in your 6th house, all right? Especially for Scorpio rising, all right? So the 6th house has to do with your daily routine, right? Health, habits, and literally the work. So sometimes you can view the 6th as literally like a sacred task, you know, something that you're devoted to. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. But anyway, a full moon in the 6th is like a manifestation in the area of the 6th house, whether it's some kind of literally health thing that you're dealing with that's like blossoming and coming to fruition. And that can be good or bad, obviously, depending on what you've got going on personally. It could be something that is coming up in the area of work, literally. Now, Mars right now is in your 8th house, the house of taxes, and the 6th house has to deal with debt. So I would be curious if some of you are actually literally dealing with like either paying off debts or getting hit with some surprise new debt. I don't know. I don't want, like, it sucks seeing stuff like this and being like, I don't want to put that out there, but you know, if that's what you're dealing with, that's what you're dealing with. Yeah, and hopefully you're able to find some kind of solution for that if that is what you're dealing with. Some other ways that this could be playing out is just like there's some kind of shocking 8th house incident that occurs that interrupts your either interrupts or you have to pivot something in your daily routine, right? Because that's 6th house with 8th house. Or alternatively, you could be like Roman and be using different like occult secret knowledge, right? Occult skills like tuning forks or astrology or like energy healing or something that's hidden and occulted in order to heal 6th house. So that's a positive spin on it that you can, it's totally possible. Yeah. I don't want to go into too many possibilities because there's like literally a fucking million. Hey, that's cool, but you're not a Scorpio rising, so that'll be interesting to look at. Yes, there are. I'm by a window and it's closed, but it's not a good window, and apparently my mic picks that up. So sorry about that. Yep. Bang, exactly, boom. Rufio is my spirit animal. You're welcome, my friend. Good night. You submit that to the AI art. Drop it in my chat.
I've got it ready to go.
Oh, really? Do you want to share it?
Yeah, I don't know if it did a very good job, but this is what we get. I typed in the prompt as instructed, exactly, and it's very phallic. The phallus.
Oh no. Is it really? How is it phallic?
The AI thinks yeah, this is the AI. Rufio's got some fucking weird lips.
What the fuck?
That's what we got. Rufio, Kermit the Frog and Rufio eating ice cream sandwiches and talking about Scorpio. That was the exact words I typed into the AI.
That doesn't look like Rufio.
I don't even know what Rufio looks like. I'm good with it. I'm more worried about
he's supposed to have like a red mohawk.
Ice cream sandwiches. It's like a clipped.
It looks
the circumcised ice cream sandwich.
maybe they think you meant like roofie, and they're like,
Everything about this is
okay,
very disturbing.
I'm taking it off my screen.
Yeah, I did it there. I already did it. We're done with that. I'm deleting all traces of it from existence. Also, this should never. This is an abomination. This should have never been.
It should have never been. We should have never done that.
Sevens. I took the bait. You know, like I like the AI art. It's fun. But
Oh my
Scorpio.
god.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
Scorpio,
god.
we got the water. So the water coming up is letting you know that, you know, especially because Scorpio is fixed water, right? Fixed water. You got to be careful of getting stuck on one tone, one frequency, one emotion. So water showing up is like, watch your emotions and try not to settle on conclusions, because the tricky thing about emotions is, or really about the mind, is that the mind is this amazing pattern recognizing thing. That's like its whole game. And if we have not really trained it to look for the patterns that are helpful, it's going, you know, it's going to basically do its best to come up with a story involving the external world for why something is going on the emotional world. So, you know, feelings come and go, the body's filled with them. They're always flowing, and try not to get stuck on whatever the mind says the pattern recognition is for that particular feeling. Like, I'm sad because of what they did, or because I'll never this. And a lot of times it's that thought, like, I'll never see them again, that really brings on the sad feeling. So be aware that the emotion actually lives in the body first. And if you can train the mind's pattern recognition to, instead of applying the external explanation for the feeling, instead look for the internal reason for the feeling, like maybe even learn a little bit about what emotions correlate to. Well done. Maybe learn a little bit about learn a little bit about what emotions correlate to what organs. You know, like if you're stuck on anger, maybe you need to do a liver cleanse or some liver assisting foods. That way, you don't get stuck on fixed on one emotion. That is the trick. You don't want to get fixed into a difficult emotion by sort of making it your conclusion. Yeah, go with the flow. And then the reason why I'm kind of emphasizing, like, don't get stuck on a tough emotion with a bad story attached to it, is because the crow is back. Very appropriate alchemically for the Scorpio, you know, but the crow is upside down. So the message of co-create with spirit is asking you, are you believing in some kind of story that is putting you in lack, some kind of lack mentality, some kind of, you know, narrative about life or about your situation that is causing the fixed emotion to be tricky and sticky? So try, like, co-create with spirit is reminding you that life is this ebb and flow. I'm trying to get my camera to focus on me again. Life is this ebb and flow, and you want to co-create with nature by basically trying to break down that barrier in your mind between external and internal. Work from the internal world and from the health level, and watch the external world situations change, rather than be affected by the external world situation and be like, it's kind of like what Michael Wan says. Are you living from the inner world directing the outer world, or the outer world directing the inner world? Right? Are things happening to you, or are you happening to things? And I believe that the best posture to take is, the world isn't happening to you, you're happening to the world. And so don't get fixed in some sticky, tricky, bad feeling emotions. Let them feel them, let them flow, release them, look for the physical component, or do the physical behavior that can help you release them, movement practices, all that. And there's your advice, Scorpio. You're welcome.
So, you're welcome. So my laptop power thing just decided to stop working. I don't know what that's all about. And yeah, so hopefully we can do this and finish before my laptop dies. Good times. Yay. Okay, Scorpio. Y'all know you got some right? Y'all know you got some eclipses coming up, right?
Send me your StreamYard account information. I'll take control. I'm assuming control. I can just call in from a phone.
No, you just call him like, actually,
You call in from a phone. I'll drive the StreamYard. It'll be great.
It'll be fine. So y'all know you got some eclipses coming up, right? Chance, shut up. All right. So we got the Seven of Swords coming out. So that's interesting. This to me is your shit stirring up my shit, says Mel. That's hilarious. Okay, so this to me is really talking about overthinking something, right? Being way too caught up in your head, trying to manipulate a scenario. And manipulation, by the way, is not a negative or a bad thing. It literally just means to maneuver things, right? To try to make an outcome come out how you want it to be. It was terrible grammar, but you know what I mean. So with the Seven of Swords coming out, and considering we're talking about 6th house and 8th house stuff for this full moon, it's almost like there's something that's coming up that you're not going to be able to just control or maneuver how you want. And it will be probably more productive to release that and to, I mean, I've never pointed this out before on this card, but this dude's literally balding. Honestly, I feel like that's an emphasis on the head-centered energy of the swords in general. It's kind of like, not that you're balding, but maybe you are, I don't know. But but it's almost like he spends so much time up here and no time down here or down here, to the point where it's like, if I can just, that beginning of a sentence right there, if I could, right, then everything would be totally fine, right? Would it? I don't know. Play ball. It's a cue ball, exactly. You might need to. Did my mic come unplugged? Oh my god!
You're plugged in. You sound great.
Okay, because my mic's not plugged in. What the fuck's going on today? Oh man. Anyway, regardless. I don't know what's going on, Scorpio, but when eclipses come, the things are going to be revealed, all right? And if it's you that's putting out this energy of deceit or deception, then it's gonna come to light. So yeah, and vice versa. If it's somebody else, then it's going to be revealed. And we're talking about, when we're talking about 8th house stuff, it's usually other people, right? That's a house that you don't control, and it's not you, it's somebody else or somebody else's resources. Yeah, my mic does sound different because somehow it got unplugged. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's a weird day. But yeah, essentially try to release some of that mental energy, because there's a lot of it. And there's just certain things that are going to unfold that you don't have control over. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
And the message of the crow is those things you can't control, even if they're like not what you would have picked, they actually are going to lead you to the outcome that is most best and appropriate for your growth and your true soul purpose.
Probably better that I don't have my mic plugged in because it pulls power and my battery's dying. So we're just gonna not worry about that right now. And
just be responsible with your power.
Like literally, but like literally.
I'll try to go faster. I'm getting pretty sweaty under the big light anyway. Pisces.
Oh, it's weird not talking into the mic. Oh, weird. Okay,
Thanks
Pisces.
for the compliment on my hair, Ariel. I'm a Leo rising, so it's very important to me. Being a main character.
We could do that. You could record that. You've got recording equipment, right?
So you want the sound of me going like... your true soul purpose. Soundbite. Your true soul purpose.
Word. Okay, so Pisces. Aries is your second house, right? This is the house of your resources, the things you own and possess, and your values, right? Full moon in the second house. I think you're clever. Anyway,
This is for Andy.
Full moon in the second house, right? Sun is currently transiting the 8th house. Full moon in the second house. This is the axis dealing with resources, okay? So hopefully for some of you out there, you're realizing that you actually are way more abundant than you could have ever possibly imagined, all right? Why I'm saying that? Well, Jupiter's still in your second house, okay? And as you saw, there's going to be some connections with Jupiter this week, and there has been already as soon as Libra season started, right? So I think that this is you really realizing, like, hey, I actually have so much more than I really thought. And if any of you are moving, you know, that could be kind of interesting to kind of like realize, oh, hey, I actually have a lot of shit. So that's interesting. But like, where do you derive value from, right? And your values, right? Is it based on what you own, what you possess, so your check coming in, or is it based on something deeper, right? These are things that can definitely come up. And the ruler of this full moon is actually in your 4th house, like quite literally, where you live and put your head to rest at night, where you lay down your roots. So with Mars being in the 4th house, it's kind of like 4th and 2nd house playing out together. What are some things, literally some physical things, that you can... So in traditional astrology and horary astrology, the 4th is a place of endings. So what kind of stuff are you ready to release and let go of? And like, what kind of values do you have that you actually need to put an end to? And obviously this is for the purpose of growing something new, right? Moving forward in some way. So that's what I want you to think about, Pisces.
All right, we got the curse. Oh shit, the curse. Oh shit. Y'all Pisces, you got the curse. That's it. Wrap it up. You're done. You got the curse. Or are you? Because really what it is maybe the time to let go of, to give context to what Kaylee's talking about. Where do we hold some kind of limiting story that we can go ahead and release? You know, sometimes these go way far back. It could be like your grandparents had some kind of lack, maybe great grandparents were in the Depression or something. And then these things, why it's called the curse is because a lot of times the limiting patterns of belief, they go from one generation to the next until somebody breaks it. Like all the time I see in people's biofield that they're holding back energy from getting shit done because like sometime when they're 8 years old, some teacher or some family member called them lazy and they just were like internalizing that shit. And they totally forgot that they took that on as a setting. And who even gave the adult the idea that it was a good idea to like cast such a judgment on a kid who's very spongy and could absorb, you know, that label. And they didn't know, though. They didn't know that the internalization of a label like that for a child could lead them to actually have less physical energy to get things done with 25 years later in their life. So the curse is about limiting stories, particularly ones that come from far back in our ancestral line that just keep getting repeated. You know, your parents did the same thing, that their parents did the same thing, that their parents did the same thing. And are you going to do that? Are you going to rise up out of it? So you basically like forgive everybody involved, forgive yourself, find where you may be holding some kind of limiting belief, and if you're struggling to find the limiting belief, look at the situation at hand and like, where am I lacking the energy or the throughput to get something done? And what would I say to myself about that? Or what am I saying to myself about that? And is it some kind of, am I holding on to a belief that I'm incapable for some reason? So it's important that you look for these and let them go, because we have antelope spirit following up. Life is speeding up, Pisces. So, like, if life is speeding up and you are not at full capacity of your energy, I'm not saying you're going to get left behind. I'm just saying, like, it just makes it feel harder and more disjointed. So there's some kind of quickening going on, some kind of increase in synchronicity, which is always a sign that you're able to also clue in more easily to the inner outer world reflection. And how can you recognize any wounds you might be carrying and pertaining to the curse, change the story and change the belief about yourself. Just in general, like, let go of any limiting stories about yourself. It's very similar to the read for Scorpio, that like pattern recognition that your mind does, attaching itself to some kind of feelings that you have or some kind of challenge that you're experiencing, possibly creating a narrative that is itself becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, get into the slip state flow of the quickening that's occurring right now, and realize that, like, if you really want to dive in to the flow of perpetual synchronicity, I know it sounds crazy for Pisces because they the deep, but maybe it's time for some top hopping. I don't know. Maybe you can believe that it's possible. Maybe you can jump from one mountaintop to the other mountaintop and like skip the valley once. Just saying. I mean, maybe not. Maybe you can't always skip the valley, but maybe this one time, maybe you give it a shot.
Just try it once. I'm down with that.
Top hop responsibly, of course, or we'll be very cross.
No, Saturn. We'll just, be Saturn, okay? It's not me,
Saturn
okay?
will curse your ass.
No. Okay. You know that scene in Shrek? Okay, there's a lot of excellent scenes in Shrek, but I love Donkey, all right? I love Donkey, okay, because he sings what's on his mind. And you know what? A song from Shrek just popped into my head, especially after I pulled these cards. Pisces, you're going on an adventure. On the road again. Can't wait to get on the road again. Yeah, I was just overcome with joy. First of all, I just plugged in my power thing to a different thing, and then all of a sudden,
Huzzah! Yes! We can go 3 more hours.
We're not going to, but we could. But yeah, can't wait to get on the road again. But also, this card came out like immediately. Hello, Princess of Wands. That's exciting. That's exciting. This card speaks to me of adventure, right? It's fresh energy. It's inspired energy. It's, actually, she's really cool. I love her dress. She's got this little, like, chameleon things. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She's ready to take this inspiration, right, and literally go on an adventure. She doesn't have any baggage, okay? She's just got a cloak to keep her warm and a walking stick to keep her connected to the ground and grounded and all that beautiful stuff. And she is ready for something new. And I just, out of curiosity, I was like, oh, look at the bottom. Well, there's the Six of Cups. So literally, on the road again. So that's kind of cool.
Was that Six of Cups or Six of Swords?
Six of Swords. Sorry, not Six of Cups. Six of Swords. Swords. Did I say cups? Sorry. I saw the water.
They're in a boat, which is like a cup for humans. Right?
Yes. Right? Literally. Anyway, I love this. And I think that this this relates so perfectly to the astrology. If you are getting rid of excess possessions, second house, right? And changing things about where your roots are right now, that's very much this energy, okay? I love that. I just feel like this is a time for embracing adventure and new things. So try out top hopping. I don't know. It could, maybe that's great advice right now. I don't know. You gotta tell me how that's going for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. Literally, I live in a small town. Yet this is the busiest route of the whole fucking town. So yeah, that's just my life. Yeah. I don't know, Pisces. There's not really anything for me to say here that's like negative
you're
or
done.
bad
We're done,
or
Aries!
yeah. Well, you know what? I think it would be an excellent moment to take like just a moment and whack that big old fork of yours. Fork us, Chance. Fork us.
Are you ready to get forked? Your true soul purpose. Until next time. How long do we let it go? Wait, we gotta, like Romy says, we gotta breathe so hard we freak our fucking neighbors out.
But don't get it on your cards.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good stuff. Raw dog in that oxygen.
All right, I had to move my cards out of the way. I was like, oh. Yeah, there you go. Great idea. Go. Thank you, Cirrus Fox.
I'm doing lines of air.
I know, that's a little bit triggering for me. I'm like, it's been a while since I've done that. Anyway, Aries. Oh man, that's funny shit. Now I'm high on air.
Oh, yeah,
that felt so good though. Ooh,
a little air breathing. I fucking needed it.
Yeah,
I'm dying over here.
That was good. Okay, Aries. So full moon in your first house. Boom, baby. Okay, so when it comes to a full moon in the first house, first of all, what did you begin around your birthday, right? Think back to the new moon in Aries, really, but think back to your birthday. Especially if you're someone like Chance and you're born near the cusp. Yeah, that's cool, hey? So,
thanks to
what did you... Right? You're welcome, buddy. What did you begin around that time that's like really airhead? Haha. Now you're cooking with gas. You're funny. All right. What did you begin around that time that's like really manifesting for you now? That's coming to fruition, right? And specifically when we're talking about a lunation, like a full moon in the first house, it could mean something to do with your body. It could mean something to do with your life path, like literally something that you're doing with your life on a daily basis. It could be your identity, right? These are three things that the first house could be talking about. And I think it's really cool, actually, that we have an Aries sun right next to me. And a bunch of people from the community pulled together some resources to get him this really cool fucking tool. Tools are third house, but that's besides the point. And now you've been practicing with it. You've been using it. You've been using it with clients.
Because it's like people associate it with me. It's like an identity thing now. I am the
Sure.
point.
Yeah, and I mean, it's something that you got, that you started around your birthday, right? Like it was a birthday gift, right? So that's like, Anyway, love that. And also, what's kind of cool is Mars, Aries ruler, is in the third house for Aries, which is tools. So we are talking about tools, right? And the fork is literally a tool. So anyway, I think that's kind of cool. fun little
Seems
Astro
like a
Nerd
very
moment.
Martian fork because it could double as a bludgeon.
You could
Like it's
easily
pretty
bludgeon
fucking
somebody
heavy.
with that, and it probably wouldn't knock it out of tune at
Like
all.
I'm
It'd
wondering,
probably
are they
be
going to
that's a
question
blunt
me
force
bringing this on a
weapon.
plane to take it to Music in Sky?
They might. Be like, sir, and you're like, it's not a knife, it's not a liquid, okay? What am I gonna do? Tune the plane?
It's not going to beat a gun. Or wait, we can't say that word. But the air marshals have one of those. Can't say that word in Canada. My bad.
Don't say that word.
We say nug instead. It's
They can't
backwards.
hear. Really? That's weird because I can hear him good through
What?
my speakers.
What? My mixer says that I'm good, and checking
I
my
don't know.
levels, they look like they're good.
Yeah, I just turned you up a little
Hmm.
bit more.
If I hit the automatically adjust mic volume, is that helpful?
I don't know.
Weird. Well, I just did, so maybe that'll help.
Hold on, let me check my volume settings. Nope, my volume settings are not funky. Weird.
Well, I changed my. Let me see.
Okay. Charlotte can hear him.
Oh.
Whoa! Whoa! Jesus Christ!
Is it okay?
No, now you're blown out like a lot. Oh, shit.
Okay, like is that normal? Is that okay?
That's better.
Okay, we're gonna go with that.
Well, I don't know. It sounds fine for me.
I'm sorry, I
How
just
does
went from 33 Illuminati confirmed percent to 100.
now I am deaf.
It's Aries time.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think it's okay now. I just basically
I don't
doubled
know.
it.
Okay, I'm
Now
sure
we
it's
good.
fine.
Now we good. We so good. All right.
Okay, what's up, Jordan? All right, where we go? What are we doing? Oh, right, cards. Oh, that's trippy. I just was shuffling, and the King of Wands is randomly flipped over.
Hey. So
I don't believe in
I got for
coincidence.
Aries the sacrifice. Dun dun dun. So, the meaning of this is to offer spirit that which is most precious to you, and that's in the book. But my take on sacrifice is not really like I don't really look at it that way. I think actually a good interpretation of sacrifice is to offer spirit what is least good for you. Like what are you holding on to that is what would be the most beneficial for you to let go of and give away? Sacrifice that which you least love and least need in your life. That's where you're going to make room for the new. I mean, think about it. In those old burnt offering days, they just gave like the bones or whatever to the god and burned that. You weren't using that. Anyway, whichever way you want to look at it, the sacrifice is about sanctifying your life in some way, letting go or giving away that which is least or that which is most to, depending on which perspective you want to give. But at the end of the day, what you're offering up is your true heart to spirit by revealing in one fashion or another how you actually feel. So if there's something that you've been holding on to and you want to put that into the sacrificial fire and let it go, that can be very strengthening. If you have something that you love most, but it's also like an attachment in sort of like a Buddhist Easterny way, I suppose you could sacrifice that, because what you love and what is true, no matter where you go, even if you're in a parallel dimension, what is true is always there. What is true is always present and is always true. So if you let go of that which you love, you change the mental dynamic, even if it's as simple as that, so that you're no longer so seriously like, oh man, my life would be over if this was gone and or if they weren't here. I think that that's an important aspect of commitment, is to be in the state of letting go of who or what you're committed to at all times. Because if it's meant to be in your life, it will be. Not saying you don't protect. I mean, Aries wants to protect. You can still protect, but to not be hung up on, I need this to live. Whether it's I need this to live and it's a crutch, or I need this to live, and it's someone or something you love, you can always, especially on the commitment side, if you are willing to sacrifice the actual attachment and the commitment of needing, then it's all the more powerful. Like, what is more powerful? Doing the right thing because somebody told you it was the right thing to do, or doing the right thing because you know it's the right thing to do? In much the same way, it's more powerful in relationship to make the choice that this is what I want, this is who I want, this is the partnership, this is the business, this is the collaboration that I want today. If I could choose again, I would choose it today rather than there's nothing wrong with like being true and loyal in times where it's a little harder to do so. But to continue to be loyal to that which is harmful to you because you made a commitment or you're in attachment out of fear of loss or lack, that is not a powerful position. Powerful position is every day, this is what I choose. And I like to think of things that way. Anyway, Aries, what can you sacrifice? I think maybe I'm sacrificing coffee this week. Hold me to it, please. It's going to be so hard to do, guys. I love it so much.
I'm going to text you tomorrow morning. What you drinking?
You said Wednesday was the day. I still got some like really good organic cold brew in the house. So I'm going to drink like 2 liters of that tomorrow. So it's all gone by Wednesday.
I did say Wednesday would be a good day. That's true.
So I got for Aries sandpaper spirit for the animal card. And that message is be playful. Be playful. Don't be so serious. Why so serious? That's all. How can you bring more playfulness?
That was me today. I regret it. Too much coffee. That was cool. I like that. Okay, so really, this is just a continuation of Chance's message. Take the more powerful, more confident position with the King of Wands, right? You know what my good buddy that's a Leo rising says? He says, this is a Leo card. If it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no. Okay.
That's fucking smart.
I know, what a genius. And just it was flipped. So oh, what's up, Mario and the host. And the other card that came out for you, Aries, actually was good old Temperance here. So in this deck, it's the Feralt. I can't pronounce that word. I'm so sorry, but it's Temperance or art, right? Or alchemy, right? And it's Bridget. It's Bridget doing alchemy. Okay, it's a fucking rainbow. There's a big old cauldron. I love this card. It's beautiful. So there's something here about you want to maintain the tension of the opposites. And there's also something that's really important here about finding a way to combine those opposites to ultimately be better off, right? I love to see this card as taking a shitty situation, right? Something that's emotionally difficult and burning away the dross. You can think about it as the alchemical process, sacrificing something. You are burning something. Literally, you need to burn something away, but not for the purpose of just getting rid of it. It's for the purpose of creating something new from it. So that's interesting. I like that.
And if it's an attachment to a behavior or a habit or a substance, then part of the dross that needs to be burned away is the mental dynamic that puts you into the attachment. Of course, what situation, what thought process, what belief is attached to that may not at first glance seem like it's related.
Totally.
Obsessive thinking always does have like a yin and yang, or obsessive behavior, compulsive behavior, addicted behavior always has a component like that. There's a yin and the yang to it. There's an inner and outer to it.
The dose doth make the poison. Just saying. Yeah, but yes, 100%. Absolutely. It's all about that balance. The yin and the yang. Temperance. Tension of opposites. Love it. All things yin yang, son. Andrea, you're the best. Oh, man. Okay. So, yeah, Mario, I already did Cancer because I switched up the order like a mad woman. Yeah, Leo! Okay, so Leo.
Saving the best for fourth from last. Or fifth from last, whatever it is.
All right, Leo. So this Aries full moon is happening in your ninth house. So when we're talking about the ninth house, we are talking about publications, right? We're talking about belief structures. We're talking about the temple or the university that you study in. So literally higher education or religious studies. So with the full moon in the ninth, sometimes this can quite literally be a manifestation of you putting something out for the world to see, right? Either stepping into some kind of teaching position or publishing something or putting something out that people will learn from. And it's kind of funny in the chat, actually. Again, Chance is a great example because he's a Leo rising, and they were just talking in the chat about, hey, you should do a Qigong course. Maybe this is a sign from the universe, my friend. I don't know. I'm just saying.
They want me to teach a
not Qigong. I Ching. Qigong, yeah. I Ching, sorry.
I like both ideas.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's one possible manifestation. Now, with the ruler of this full moon falling into your 11th house.
Because, like, I'm trying to finish this audiobook within this moon cycle. Like, sometime before the next full moon after this one, I want it to be done. So that's kind of related, right?
Yeah,
that's also
absolutely.
where I study. Like, I'm studying as I make this publication to the world.
And what's really cool is you're studying other languages, which is totally a ninth, third house axis thing, right? So literally you're studying other languages in order to put this publication out that's both ninth, third house axis things. And yeah, if you can finish it this moon cycle, that'd be like fucking ace. Right? Especially before the eclipse. Do that. I'm worried about the eclipse, Kate. But that's me, not
When's
you guys. It is the second day of Scorpio, the 25th.
Okay, we're good.
25th of October. Yeah, you got time. But anyway, so with the ruler of this full moon being in your 11th house, this could be something that ties into a longer term goal that you might have, right? It could also be involving people from your wider social network. Yeah, things of that nature. So anyway.
All right, so we got...
Yeah.
This is a new one for me. I haven't really drawn this card much, so I'm kind of going to go off of the book a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the Andean Cross.
Andy, it's you. Sorry, just kidding.
Basically, this is like referring to taking a great journey, interestingly. It's sort of maybe like the World card out of the tarot. Interestingly enough, it's got the cardinal directions and it's representative of those. And then the gateway, the hole in the center. It's kind of interesting. It's also got the idea of the upper and lower world involved in it. But this came up in upside down. So interestingly, it's sort of like giving you indication of maybe there was some kind of opportunity that you felt like you needed to prepare for and try to jump out the window before it closes, and giving the question to ask yourself, like, is that wise to do? Maybe actually I should sort of wait for the window to come again rather than try to grab everything and jump through it before it's too late. Like, don't, it's sort of a divinatory message of don't be hasty. Like the conditions will line up again for a prosperous opportunity. No opportunities are lost and no intentions are going to go recognized by spirit, but that like, you know, if you go into something with the feeling of being massively unprepared, tremendously overexerting, you know, maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe you want to go in with a strong feeling of preparation and also strong feeling of trust. You know, if that doesn't hit, then maybe you're sure, like, you know, whatever big adventure or big journey or big achievement you're trying to pop off, maybe now is really the time. But if you've got a little bit of that hesitation or feeling unprepared, possibly step back and get into the stillness and the slowdown and see see where it, you know, comes back around again. Now this is cool for Leo. We got Bobcat spirit. So this is okay, and it's number 8. Hey, that's like super Leo. All right, but this also came up in reversal. So it's life is a mystery. If it's in reverse, that means like, are you trying to like put your own interpretation on how life should be? Are you trusting in the unknown enough that, exactly like the message of the Andean cross, if you think that there's only ever going to be this one chance and it's never going to come again, and if I don't force the round peg into a square hole, then it's just not going to work out. Maybe that's not true. Maybe in the great mystery of life, there's a better solution waiting, but that the best way to be prepared to observe that and be prepared to take the opportunity is to be paying attention to your inner world and building yourself up on a health and bioenergetic and, you know, groundedness level as much as possible, so that then it's not like forcing something, it just is in flow.
Noise. I like that.
So like maybe that's talking to me, like, don't try to force this thing to be done before the eclipse. If it is, it is. But if it's not, don't freak out. Don't do a slipshod job just to meet some arbitrary deadline.
Yes, totally, 100%. It'll happen when it's meant to happen. That's something that I say to myself often when I'm trying to control something. Yeah, every time I try to force it, backfires. But anyway, the card that I got for Leo was the Six of Swords. Hello, Six of Swords again. Okay. So what I didn't mention about the 9th house that I kind of forgot about is the 9th house can be literally foreign journeys overseas, right? Pilgrimages, right? That's the 9th house. So that's one possible interpretation for this card, and that ties in with the astrology. But how I really like to look at this card, actually, because it's a 6, we're talking about balance, something that's perfectly balanced, okay? The 6 of Swords, to me, is actually, in some situations anyway, talking about understanding all of the variables that go into an equation, right? Controlling those variables as much as possible so that you get the desired outcome, right? This is science, literally, right? Hypothesis, or observation, actually, right? Hypothesis, these are the variables, this is the experiment, and then repeating that experiment over and over again and getting a predictable result. That's a 6 of Swords, to me anyway. So I think the important takeaway from this card and the astrology is that they're just, with everything in life, there must be balance. And if you are, again, it comes back to trying to control an outcome. If you're trying to control an outcome and you've accounted for all of the variables that you possibly can, and you know what the outcome should be, I mean, just keep going ahead. Why are you worried about it, right? Release the need to know, accept that there's always going to be some aspects of mystery. And I don't know, I think I would just say, like, I had to step away for a moment, so I missed like half of what Chance said, so I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. But sometimes with the full moon in the 9th house, you can realize that some of the things that you believed before are not true. And it's okay to change your mind, number one. It's also okay that, if you need to pivot in something that you're doing, that's also okay. So I don't know. I think that's basically what I would say. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's science in the Thoth deck and in the Hermetic deck, which is what I learned on. It's also the Lord of Perfected Work. So yeah, it's Mercury and Aquarius in those two systems. So it's very much about trying to take in every single thing that makes sense and that is logical and it's not emotional at all in the slightest, and accounting for all of the variables. And it's funny because with Aquarius, right, if this is the energy of innovation and revolution, there's always going to be some chaos factor that's really hard to account for. So anyway, that actually makes me think of how modern physicists are ignoring one whole factor and just not accounting for that variable. Oh my God, if you are a physicist or an engineer, you might know what I'm talking about. But sometimes we talk about it as like aether, or I don't even know what they call it. Anyway, there is something in the equation that you do have to account for, and hopefully you know what the fuck I'm talking about. If not, it's going to sound like gibberish. Sorry. But there's a chaos factor in there. So account for the chaos factor if you can. But just accept also that there's going to be surprises no matter how.
The chaos factor is it's unaccountable, right?
Totally. Yeah, it could be. Right? Like, if you plan to cause chaos, like, you engineer the issue and then you have a solution for that issue that comes up. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
KO.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Leo, don't do that to us.
The fury of the sun, that's Leo. It's kind of like where chaos kicks off, because chaos is also winter. In the sky clock, it's the winter half, and after Leo, sun starts going down.
After Cancer.
Yeah, technically, Leo's the first one where it's going down.
The very first degree of Cancer is the very highest, most northern. I shouldn't say highest, because if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's the reverse. So 0 degree of Cancer is the highest point, and then literally first degree of Cancer, it starts. But anyway. Just being technical, sorry. Love you guys. We're being technical, okay? Love you guys. Sagittarius! Okay. So Sag. Sag. The Aries full moon is happening in your 5th house. So that's fun. Yay, Sagittarius. I feel like maybe it's just because I know some Sages and they've been going through some crazy shit, but I feel like I'm finally excited to talk about these transits for you. Oh, thank God. So, 5th house. Ooh, joy. Okay? Fun. Games. Risk. Play. Art. Small business. Children. Oh, yes. So, with Jupiter here as well, this is expanding all of those things. Hopefully you can see it, right? Hopefully that's being reflected in your life in some way. Like, hey, yes, I'm finding ways to have more fun, right? I love the full moon in the 5th house for you. Right? Like, this fire trine is just beautiful. One way that you can think about this is the 5th house is the child of the 1st, right? So Sagittarius, Aries is the child of Sagittarius. So that's kind of fun. So yeah, literally, what are you birthing right now? All right. Is it literally a new small business or a new phase in your small business, right? You're just stepping it up a notch and amping things up a bit. Or are you a chicken mama, Do you got chickens hatching right now? You're just, one possibility. Now, Mars is in your 7th house. So, whatever it is that you're birthing at this time, whatever creative projects are coming up, has to also do with some kind of committed partnership. So, that's actually kind of cool. Like, quite literally, you could be trying to get pregnant for some of you. Not all of you, not all of you, but some of you. Or you could be starting a business with somebody, right? Seventh house is not just like spouse, it's also business partners. Or yeah, those are the two like main ones. That's not the only ways that this can manifest, but that's some pretty big significations there for those things. So anyway, Sagittarius, that's exciting. That's some exciting astrology, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Sag, whether you got knocked up or you're knocking somebody up, you're about to take a great journey. Got the journey. Or maybe neither of those applies, but kind of cool. It sort of mirrors the Leo talking about, the Andean cross talking about a journey as well, or an opportunity more like in that one. So the journey is basically saying that you're being invited to depart in some way from normal everyday routine into the unknown, whether that's on an actual physical journey abroad or a change in direction in your daily behavior and daily habits that is a major shakeup. I think that the key is to not jump from like one comfort into another or one routine into another routine in a mundane sense, but to find some territory you haven't explored at all yet. Maybe no map, or maybe you're getting on somebody else's ship and you're just a deckhand, right? You're not the captain. You don't know, you're not the navigator. You don't know where it's going. The journey is letting you know that the most important thing about the situation is the departure. And this is with everything, anything in life that you want to change. Like, sometimes when I work with clients with biofield tuning, it doesn't matter how much I work the forks in a particular region of the biofield. I might even clear all the static and distortion out of a certain place. And it's still not, the energy center is still not opening. And at that point, I have to inform them, here's what's going on. You have to make the choice. I want this to change. I am changing this. And you have to make the choice. So the choice is the most important part, the choice to depart from whatever the old is and enter the unknown. And the rest of the journey will materialize itself around the choice. What you need will be there. The environment will have all the resources necessary, no matter if you find yourself in Antarctica or the rainforest. What you need will be in the environment. And so to find that, koala spirit wants you to take it slow. Look at that heady ass koala, third eye koala. Holy shit. Koala is inviting you to slow down, and that spirit has a plan. And that if you want the journey that you're embarking on to be a joyful and prosperous one, then take the time to actually enjoy the journey. It's that old cliche, life is about the journey, not the destination. Well, if you want to make that true and you really want to get the most out of exploring the unknown, then take your time and look around. And then the journey is going to be a fruitful one if you actually go look for the fruit. If you don't feel like you're in a rush and that you got to get to some kind of a mythical there. If you want it to be a joyful journey, then take joy in the journey. That is, and if you want to get to a good, happy place, then be happy while you're on your way to whatever place. Because there's really no such thing as place. There's where you are right now and the step you're taking right now. And if you don't pay attention, you might miss like some heady ground scores or something. Who knows? Maybe there's like some totally heady ground scores. So slow down. Make the decision to go into the unknown, and then make sure that you take it slow and easy enough to find the treasure while you're there. It wouldn't be a good, why get on the pirate ship and sail across the ocean if you're not going to find the treasure, right? That's boring. That's it for you, Sagittarius. I hope that makes sense.
I love that. Because for you, Sag, you got the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is indicating there is some amazing fertility here.
He's the treasure king.
is the treasure king. He's also echoing this need to slow down, right? Stabilize, right? The King of Pentacles has things planned out in such a way so that he knows that he's going to be taken care of because he's planned, right? He has it's not that he's gotten super heady and mapped out the whole chess match, right? However, he does know that he will be taken care of because he's made sure that all of his bases are covered as far as the physical realm goes. And he's not a fast-moving king, right? I mean, in the decks that I learned on, this is a Taurus energy, is very about stabilizing and here's your scholar daddy, you know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, he's got a pig roasting, all right? You know, he's got his food taken care of. It's a big fire, right? It's not a little fire. He has chopped enough wood that it will definitely carry him through the winter. You know, these are really simple, easy examples to illustrate the point. So yeah, there's this full moon in the 5th, and it's about fun and risk and joy and all that stuff. But is it sustainable, right? So it's all about, I love you, Jenny. Until next time. Hey, we got to get together before you leave. So I'm going to text you. But anyway, yeah.
You get her on one of these, but like in the same spot, maybe that'd be fun.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Jenny? Anyway. That'd be a riot. Oh my god. But yeah, so this is about stabilizing, right? Making sure that you can sustain whatever it is you're doing for the long haul. So that's what I got to say about that. She's probably already logged out. That's okay.
No, is she there? She heard all that?
Okay, Jenny!
Bye, Jen.
Word. All right, love you, Sagittarius. You got this. You got this. Also, you know, I mean, fifth house ruler in the 7th house. You could be meeting somebody that could be like, you know, a little bit of a sugar daddy. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It could happen. It could happen. Oh, man. Capricorn. What up, Capricorn? Yeah.
Responsibility.
Fuck. Okay, Cap. So, full moon in the 4th house, with the ruler of this 4th moon in the 6th house. Fun. Okay, so, all right.
I can only think of Skeletor when you do that voice now. Fun.
I'm gonna get a Skeletor mask now. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay,
wear that when you have one on with this Cholulu deck.
Yes. Oh my god, that'd be a great Halloween show. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, Juan, where are you? All right. So anyway,
and
full
then
moon in the
maybe
4th.
Throw in one of Rachel or Kaylee or Rachel or Andy with like some kind of skeletal deathy deck. They've got those.
They do have the goods on the decks, man. This is true. Anyway, Capricorn, full moon in the 4th. Have you been neglecting anything at home that really needs to be taken care of? Now would be
Shut the front door. Right when you said the word home. You see what this says? I just drew this. It says be at home.
Wombat spirit, be at home.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Sorry to interrupt. That wasn't very
okay.
responsible of me.
I've been literally working from home, so I'm so sick of my house, but anyway. I'm like, oh. Anyway, so, okay. You know what? That's important too. If you've been spending too much time at home, I mean, Jupiter's in Aries too right now, so like, it's kind of like joyful to be in the house or in the home right now. If you've been spending too much time at home, you could quite literally see some different health issues cropping up. So be mindful of that And especially with Mars getting ready to station, he won't station for like a couple more weeks, but still, that energy is creeping up. If you have been noticing anything where it's like, hey, I should probably take care of this, or hey, I've been dehydrating myself because I've been drinking too much fucking coffee and not enough water, pay attention to that. Okay? The full moon in the fourth is really bringing to the forefront issues that have been happening or going on in the home that need to be dealt with, right? Plain and simple. In order to really shine in your career, in your public image, in your vocation, in order to do that, the root has to be taken care of. What happens to a plant that gets overwatered and doesn't drain properly? The roots rot, and then what happens? The plant dies. It doesn't matter, you know. So I really feel like this full moon is just really, if there's been anything that's been brewing under the surface, this is going to be like a flashpoint where it's like, okay, if you haven't been dealing with this, now you have to deal with it. So just keep that in mind. And, be mindful to channel that Mars energy into healthy outlets. So with Mars in the sixth house, that's literally like going for a run or riding a bike or, picking up something that's physical, that you can move your body with, and that will help you channel some of that energy, but also you just can't ignore what's going on in your home anymore. That's all. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, did you guys see this thick boy's butt? He's
yeah,
actually not that big. He's really just all fluff. He looks big, but he's mostly fluffy. Okay, goodbye. All right, so this is weird. I'm realizing now there's even some similarity between certain cards in this deck that are, very similar. Because we got many paths. Many paths. So this is also about, taking a step in a new direction, leaving the beaten path, if you will, and that you're supported in that time of transition. Again, it's about the journey into the unknown. It's checking out uncharted waters. But one thing that is important about this is with a difference with this card compared to the other times we came to journey type questions or archetypes in the shaman deck, is that one path for one person, another person walking the same path, it is not the same path. And the example is, consider this is like a little parable. There are two stonemasons you walk up to, and you talk to the first one and you ask what he's doing. And he says, I am squaring out this stone. I'm making it a perfect square, squaring the stone. And then you ask the other one, who appears to be doing the exact same thing, what are you doing? And he says, I am building a cathedral. So you get the difference here. It is about, they're both doing the same exact action, but one is at work, just doing my job, and the other has found, their calling. So the two paths or the many paths right now thing is asking you like, are you living occupationally or vocationally? That's how Tessarion puts it. Are you occupied? Because that has a double meaning. Like, is your job, your occupation, as in, you've been colonized, you're enslaved to it in a way. The need for it for survival has, and this fear of like, if I don't take responsibility and do this thing that I don't like, then I won't survive. Yeah, because there's a way to turn what is also your livelihood and survival into vocation, which is more of a word that implies art to it, and that you love what you're doing, that it's pleasing to you. It's vocation sounds a lot like vacation, right? So is there a way that you can find a new path, or is the time already here? Like, do you see that there's a branch in the road that maybe you could take this other direction? The opportunity is peeking through, and to, because I feel like since I started working from home, and the other card is Wombat, which is be at home. interestingly, here's the wombat, super heady king wombat. Yeah, since I started working at home, I feel like every day is the weekend or the strong front, if you want to invert that dumbass phrase, weekend. Because like I do more work now in a lot of ways than I ever did before when I worked for somebody else. And I'm doing it from home, which is cool, which may not be the way for you, but I feel like I never feel like I'm away from this sense of freedom that being at home compared to being at work or being at the office, entails. So I guess the question with mini paths and be at home could also be like, can you take your home with you if you're hitting the road for a new direction? Or can in the reverse of that, can you bring your path home? Can you find the path that brings you home so that you're able to, like I said, work vocationally instead of occupationally? And rather than being in somebody else's territory to try to scrabble together what you can to survive, to instead like carve out your own territory and make that where your livelihood is derived. There's a lot there. So you got it. You can do it. It might be time.
You can do it. Capricorn. For fuck's sake. Capricorn, what the fuck? So, Ten of Swords. All right. And it's interesting. As soon as we started Capricorn, I got a headache. And I'm like, God damn it. No. Anyway, so Ten of Swords. With the Tower. I'm not going to candy coat that, okay? Something's coming to an end. Right? Catastrophe. Hilarious. So, like I said earlier, the fourth house can be an ending, right? That's how it was looked at in ancient astrology and in horary astrology. It's the end of a matter. And with Mars coming in, literally the Tower is the energy of Mars. With Mars coming in, it's like a very sudden ending. I gotta remind you, with the Ten of Swords, this is a difficult situation that's probably been dragging on for a while. And now that it's finally, it's I actually just got the image of a pimple bursting. It's like it's been put under a lot of pressure and then boom. Honestly, thank God, because that kind of pressure is not nice. It's not wonderful to sit under that.
Popping pimples with a sword.
Being ruled by... Yeah, exactly. Being ruled by Saturn, you know what that pressure is like. It's not fun. Sometimes this is a huge relief. And also, just keep in mind that the Ten of Swords, right, this is the end of a matter, right? Ideally, you'll be able to take this situation, or situation, whatever it is, and finally move forward from something, right? If you feel like you've been walking on eggshells, right? If you feel like there has been just something going on that you haven't been able to directly address head on, it's gonna come to a head, basically. So do what you can to help facilitate that. And yes, you're right, Cody, exactly. Pressure does make diamonds, absolutely. So that is the kind of like silver lining at the end of the day. Yeah, there's shit going down, something's coming to an end. The symbolism is pretty fucking plain. There's not really any way to get around that, but like, thank God it's coming to an end, because constantly living under a state of pressure or in a state of crisis is really bad and hard on your body, right? It's really, really difficult on all of your organs, on your cortisol system. Literally everything gets just wrecked when you're in a state of crisis or trauma constantly, right? So remember to breathe. Don't drink 10 cups of coffee. channel that Mars energy as much as you can into some healthy pursuits. And yeah, all of what Chance said. Make if you can make a loving rather than a living, I mean you're doing fucking great, but clearly something needs to come to an end first before you can do that. So
And stepping on all the keyboard buttons at once.
I love it.
Just opened.
Yeah. 10 cups of sword up coffee. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Taurus. Taurus, Taurus. So, Taurus. Aries full moon. That's your 12th house. Okay. So, if you are a Taurus rising, this full moon is happening in the 12th house. This is the house of the subconscious, of isolated places. You know, it's not usually looked at as a very nice house because sometimes it's like the place of our own self-undoing. It's kind of dark, but we do shit to self-sabotage all the time, don't we? It's also like sleep and dreams. So wouldn't be surprised if you were having some pretty gnarly dreams around now. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised at all. But anyway, full moon in the 12th. Ideally, this is illuminating or bringing to your awareness something that needs to be addressed, whether it's some like self-destructive habit or self-sabotaging habit, or whether that's pretty much it. Sometimes this can be like something that you've been doing in your own private space is finally bearing fruit. And because it's a hidden house, only you are going to know what that is. Now, some themes that this could relate to: Mars, the ruler of the full moon, is in your second house of resources. Resources, values, possessions. So that's kind of interesting. I'll let you kind of connect the dots on what that means because it's going to be different based on your individual charts. But another kind of way that that could play out is like quite literally you're spending a lot of money, Mars in the second house, on like rituals or ceremonies or charity. Actually, charity's 12th house. So, you know, or you could be asked to spend a lot of money on charity things. So just some different ways that that could play out for you. Keep an open mind, I guess.
I got so distracted by the kitty. He's
That's
drooling
okay.
and purring, and he's like massaging my bare skin with his claws out. All I saw was hemorrhoids.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very Mars thing. But anyway, carry on.
So this is an interesting one. We got the corn. I haven't seen this one many times before, but the corn mythologically is like the ultimate symbol of the seed and birth and growth and death and rebirth again. So the corn myth is where we actually even get the ideas about a lot of our deities and archetypes. That within the corn myth, you have the mother, which is Taurus, that drops the seed. The seed goes under the ground, which is like kind of more of a Chronos. And then it rises again and gives you like your solar deities as it comes out of the ground and forms the tree or the stalk or even the sheath of wheat, like Virgo. So basically the corn myth in a way represents the cycles of the entire sky clock fits into the corn life cycle, which is pretty cool. So in terms of like this particular deck, what it means by the archetype of the corn, it is very Taurus because it's about material and tangible abundance in pertaining to things that are sustenance, you know, and that give us the stability for life. Cornographic. Thank you, Gabriel. So basically, like in terms of the meaning of the corn in this deck is that there is some kind of good fortune showing up actually, and to be, take the opportunity to harvest or reap whatever rewards or prosperity are present in this moment, and be aware of like if you are losing faith in the prosperity that's available and accessible to you, you might not have the energy to go and reap the rewards that are actually waiting and present for you. And you want to do that while the season is ripe for it. So the corn is like, remember that you are super blessed, and that a good way to continue receiving abundance is to share abundance, of course. And then the interesting number for the corn is 10. And then I got the butterfly, which refers to, of course, like the archetype of transformation. And it's number 11. So we got 10 and then 11. They kind of follow each other in that way. So again, the transformation and metamorphosis idea of the life cycle of the butterfly is very similar to the corn myth. And that means that even if you feel like you're in the phase of in your shell, whether it's the kernel of corn or the caterpillar in the chrysalis, that you are at a phase where the abundance or the transformation is like you're right on the cusp of it, or it's available. And that's actually true no matter where we are in the seasons, or no matter where we are in life, that some things will be planting, some things will be growing, some things will be reapable, and other things will be dying and ready to be released. So maybe if there's some challenges right now and you feel mostly like you're only noticing the walls closing in of the cocoon, or the things that are dying or rotting on the vine, then shift your perspective in some way and look for what parts of your life are in a different season right now that are harvestable, that are shareable, that are worth recognizing with gratitude and taking the gift that is offered and available. So don't focus on what's dying, focus on what's growing right now. Like I like what Owen says, Owen Benjamin, don't find a hill to die on, find a hill to grow on. What's growing right now for you.
I like that. Fun. You're funny. Find a hill to grow on. I like that. So what I've got for you, Taurus, is the Queen of Cups. Just want to point out a couple of really cool things about this card, okay? So first of all, Queen of Cups, and she's got the full moon poised right above the cup, right? So what was I saying about the 12th house and the second house? I'll reiterate, obviously, but I was trying to tie together these houses, the 12th house being the super spiritual and hidden house, and then the second house being our physical finances or physical possessions and stuff. What's kind of cool about this is it looks like she's in the middle of a ritual, right? Literally, it looks like she's in ceremony of some kind, a full moon ceremony maybe. And with the full moon, we're manifesting something physical. So like quite literally, you could be doing some wicked fucking moon magic shit and manifesting all kinds of shit. Like literally, that's one possibility. But yeah, I love that, where Chance is saying to focus on what's growing right now. So with the Queen of Cups, I feel like some things that you could be growing right now, as an example, would be to continue growing a dedicated spiritual practice, right? That's 12th house. To continue growing some kind of spiritual and emotional maturity by having a regular routine thing that you do all the time, every day. And I really feel like it's important to note with the Queen of Cups that this is about nurturing the self, self-mothering, right? So where could you take better care of yourself? Has there been any area where you've been lacking, and just not quite doing what you could be doing for yourself, right? So sometimes we can get into a habit of like, oh no, I'll do that tomorrow. You know, I don't really need to take care of that today. I could do that tomorrow. But you really do need to do it like now, right? A practice that I've taken up that I don't always follow through on, but I'm as a Taurus sun, I'm bringing this up now. This is advice to myself from myself, okay? A practice that I've done in the past that I'd like to continue is as soon as I realize that I need something, like let's say I'm thirsty, I won't wait, right? I won't wait. I'll be like, I'm thirsty. Go get water right now, right? Don't wait. Go and do it right now. Or I think of like, hey, I should probably do some yoga. Go do it right now. You know, obviously that doesn't work all of the time, right? It depends on, you know, what you're doing in that moment, or, you know, but as soon as I think of something that I know will be good for me, that I know will help me feel better, I go and do that thing. So better care 1 cup of coffee, right? Not 6. I don't think I had 6 today, but just probably almost. Yeah. Yeah. Or, you know, instead of coffee, if you've got that really wicked mushroom herbal blend, do that instead. You know, just it's little things. It's really little things, but those little things add up to big things in the end. So that's what I got for you, Taurus. Shout out to you guys who are still here after 3 hours. You are the real OGs. I love you.
Shout out to you guys that are still here on your soul's true path. Yeah, we're there though. We made it all the way to Virgo.
We did, and I have one more personal reading after this. But you told me I can wait till the end, so I'm going to do that.
Nice.
Virgo, ho, 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 ho. Ha, ha, ha.
You call him Virgo a hoe?
Have you met Virgo? Just kidding.
How dare you?
They're like Scorpio light, okay? Yeah, virgin doesn't mean untouched, okay? It means unwed. All right, anyway, so... And she cackles.
It's like Scorpio, but they actually know how to put more mystery on it.
It's the sacred... It's the sacred... It's the sacred hoe. Okay, anyway, I love you, Virgo. Oh, man. So, I mean, this is an appropriate way to start out Virgo, honestly, because this full moon is in their 8th house. So, you know. All right.
Astrology jokes. Until next time.
Oh, man. But yeah, okay.
Virgo.
Yeah. That's it. Just an astrology joke, and we're done. Poof. I'm out. All right. Full moon in the 8th house. With the 8th house, we're talking about something that's sudden, right? Something that is completely out of your control. You don't have a say in this matter. It's gonna happen. All right. The 8th house can involve somebody else's finances, right? It can involve trust. It can involve intimacy. And Mars, the ruler of this full moon, is in your 10th house, so it's likely going to play out in your career. So that's interesting. It could be like you realizing that you actually have way more. Could be you realizing that you have people around you, maybe a spouse, maybe a partner, maybe a business partner, that is able to help you with their resources further something to do with your career. It's like one literal way that could play out. Or it could be like taking some like occult knowledge that's also 8th house and using it in your career. Or like, yeah. That's a couple ways that could play out, like literally. How else might this? I don't know. Trying not to go super dark right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, don't go dark, Kaylee. Don't go dark. You're at 3 hours. You could do it.
I got dark here on my end.
Great. Virgo. Oh man. Well, okay, so let me just put it this way, all right? With Mars in the 10th house, this is a lot of energy and drive to really achieve things. That's fucking great. Do it.
But what if
But what if
aiming at the 10th house with that Mars drive and desire, what if like that's not really on target? Because like for what you need right now, or if that makes sense.
yeah?
Just to get into the shaman card, I got the arrow, but it's upside down. So it's like
Interesting.
it's kind of like, you know, that story. I've probably told this before, I've probably drawn the arrow before, but the best archers, the way that they hit the target is like, you know, they become the target. they're not like trying to hit the target. It's just like this automatic thing. Basically, I guess the way of putting it is being spiritually aligned with the goal or the target in a true sense means you don't really have to try to hit the target. It is what it is. You know, you're going to stick it, you're going to land it, whatever the case may be. And if you feel like so off target that you're shooting yourself in the foot right now in some way, then it could be maybe that wasn't what you're meant to be doing, and maybe you should think about regrouping and pointing your energy towards something else. Like, you know, spend the time till Mars goes direct, thinking about, you know, maybe a different taking a different aim if it's been a challenge to achieve the goal that you've been working towards by yourself. Maybe in that space of withdrawal, also the help might show up from somebody else external or close to you that sees that you're like, oh, you're pulling back on that thing you're really driving on. Did you run into an impediment? You know, do you need a hand? There's a lot of possibilities there. And the other card is chameleon. So chameleon card upside down also. So this is like, you know, are you faking it? Like, is it even really what you wanted? Is that why you're not hitting the mark? Is because deep down you're like, I don't even want this. I'm just like, for whatever reason, I need the appearance of it, I feel. And I'm worried that if I don't take this posture of trying to do this thing, then I'll be judged. Like, you know, the example would be if I don't go to university because mom and dad said that I should, and I don't pursue this degree that I don't even give a shit about, and they're teaching me nothing but garbage anyway, I'll lose mom and dad's love. That won't happen. That's not true. You know,
or respect, or
respect, losing face.
Yeah, losing face is totally a 10th house thing. I think that's a really, really excellent point, Chance, because Mars is not stationed yet, but he will be stationing right after the eclipse. And yeah, with the 8th house, we're talking about sudden events that are completely outside of our control. And it could be the opposite way around. Like, I was trying to figure out how the 8th house could influence the 10th, but it's the other way too. How is the 10th house influencing the 8th? But anyway. Blindfold archery. But yeah, no, absolutely. It's okay to change your mind too, right? And honestly, I think that the people that matter, right? The people that really matter are going to understand if you have to change course or stop doing something or, you know, alter something about how you're presenting yourself. Right? If you need to do that, then do that.
Right, so like we're aware that there's wisdom to be found in not getting what we want, but also there's wisdom to be shared. You know, if somebody else doesn't get what they wanted out of you or for you, you know, if you don't dance to that tune, it gives them a chance to maybe learn and reflect. Also, I mean, back to that example of like mom and dad with college, they're trying to force it on you. You feel like they're trying to force it on you, but they feel like they're trying to do what they can to support you because you're putting on the appearance of you want that. So they're like encouraging you. Yeah, do it. Get that degree. And deep down, you're like, I don't want to do this shit, but I don't want mom and dad to think I'm ungrateful or think I'm a slacker or whatever. And then on their end, they're like, I want to support them in doing this because it seems like it's what they want. So I'm giving them all this encouragement. And if you just like got real and took down the chameleon of trying to fit into something that doesn't fit, then they can also change the direction of their support for you because, the people that really authentically love you will support you on whatever target you're shooting for.
Yup. I love that. So I pulled the Ten of Cups. And I want to point out, in the Thoth and the Hermetic deck, this card is not about happiness. It's about overindulgence and overdoing it and addiction cycles and getting lost in escapism and stuff like that. That is definitely an 8th house thing. And a 12th house thing. Mostly an 8th house thing. But anyway, 10 of Cups. I always pick out in this deck, not always, but I almost always pick out in this deck how he's fucking bored. It's like, yeah, he's got everything that he wants, but does he really want that? I don't know. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. And again, like I said, and like what Chance was saying, it's okay to change your mind and do something different if you need to. And if you're getting lost in escapism in any way, be really mindful of that too. Okay, we're mid-apocalypse cycle, motherfuckers. Now is not the time to be getting lost in drugs and alcohol. Now is the time to buckle down and make sure that you're sober and clear-minded as much as you possibly can be, so that we can weather the storm. We need all hands on deck. We need all healers on deck, right? We just went through 2.5 years of intense trauma-based mind control and gaslighting. All right, we need you to be on top of your game so that you can help the other people that are just starting to figure out what's going on. Right, the people that are just coming to now, they fucking need you. Okay, they need every one of us. So now is the time to really be working on healing yourself so that you can help heal the world. All right, it's no small task. The only way to do that is to lead by example. So, okay, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Fire emojis if that was like an awesome rant to you. I thought it was a great rant.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. We need you. We need you.
She's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Especially Virgo
really
gang,
the best
right?
Apocalypse ever, but if you're escaping from it, you don't even get to enjoy how great of an apocalypse it really is.
Right? Like shit's crazy right now, but right. And oh wow. Holy shit. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I looked at the bottom of the deck for you, Virgo, and we got the Magician. So here's your ruler, Mercury, coming out to say what's up. There are really important skills that you have that we need, right? Oh, hey, that is hilarious timing because Virgo's the last sign that I'm doing, so that's awesome. Hey, and the sun underneath your deck, that's really cool. And I picked up the Magician, and there's the High Priestess, and then I picked up the High Priestess, and there's the Moon. So it's just like, whoa. But anyway, the Magician is about skills. Okay, I think it's about honing your skill set, your tools, your communication. It's about making sure that, not making sure, it's just about practicing something to the point where you're actually really proficient in it. So whatever that skill set is for you, you're going to know, right? And with Virgo, right, we're talking about healing. We're talking about natural health. This is what we need now more than ever, right? I don't think I'll ever trust the medical system ever again. Okay, I think there's a lot of people that are in that boat. So we need our healers, we need our herbalists, we need our alchemists, we need our tincture makers, we need our salve makers, we need our sound healers. Okay, so get on it. I'm done. Yep. All right.
Mic drop.
Tunky just ate a. Did he really just eat a cricket?
Yeah, well, part of it. Still playing with the pieces.
That's hilarious. Okay.
You know how they do. They like to torture their food.
They do. Cats do that.
So can we do a quick collective and then... Man,
Sure.
I kind of need to bounce. Getting late here.
Yeah, dude, we can do a quick collective. And then I have a reading for Charlotte. And if there's anybody else that wants a personal reading before chance bounces. If you want I Ching, now is the time to get it in while we do a collective, and then he's out. You lost your chance. But also you should just book with Chance for a private reading anyway, because he's a bomb. He's the bomb. Yeah, and a sound healing, because they're really good.
Awesome.
Speaking of, like, we need the healing and stuff. Sound healings are great. Aww. J-Lo. Yeah, needing a break is okay.
Took the Baptist. That's funny. Eating crickets in the wilderness, buddy. Good job down there. You like ate the whole thing. Pretty impressive.
Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you, Took. Eat those bugs, because I'm not going to.
I'm doing a mudra for the collective.
Nice. I love mudras. I only brought my tarot deck.
To shuffle, though.
Are they like extremely large cards?
Yeah, they're extremely large cards, and they like got a curve, and the deck has like it's bowed. It's quite unfortunate. It just came that way.
Oh man. Okay, I've got a feeling that a lot of you are going to be saying, I told you so. I motherfucking told you so.
I'm just making sure I really understand how this works. Hold on.
Okay, while you figure that out, I got the 3 of Cups and then the 5 of Cups. Okay, so in the first image, we see people celebrating, right? And this is very much the energy of connection and getting together and celebrating and enjoying a drink and laughing and playing and being with friends, right? And then in the 5 of Cups, you see those 3 cups filled, but there are still 2 cups behind them, right? This is the process of grieving. Some of you, right? In fact, probably a lot of you, maybe not everybody, but probably a lot of you, if not most of you, lost friends and other connections as soon as 2020 rolled in, right? Since we're ranting about the apocalypse, I might as well just fucking keep it going, okay? A lot of you lost friends, right? This shit split families apart, okay? It split everybody, okay? That's what they did. Hopefully you have had time to grieve those losses, okay? Because there are new connections and even some old connections, right? You're just meeting them from a new level of understanding, right? There are other people there ready to walk with you on the road that you're on, okay? It might even be possible that some of those friends and other people that you thought you lost are actually still there, just waiting. Either you're waiting or they're waiting for the right moment to come back together, okay? Not all of those connections are gone forever. If you're dealing with death, you know, they're there in spirit, okay? The other card that came out, all right, is the 7 of Wands. All right, this is the energy of defending your position, standing up for yourself, being like, no, actually, here's the receipts, motherfucker. We just went through Virgo season. I have all of the screenshots. I have all of these articles saved, and the facts are coming out, all right? And because you stood your ground, because you stood up for what you believed in, because you were firm and in your decision, whatever your decision was, you're going to be, I don't want to use the word rewarded. That's not quite right, but, and not vindicated either. That's also not the right word. It's like, it's along that vein, but those are not quite the right words. Validated, sure, yeah, definitely, right? That's how I feel vindicated. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, yeah,
but you won't be verified. Like, you're not getting a blue check mark on Twitter.
You're not getting a blue check mark. Release the blue check mark, okay? But it might very well be that some of those connections that you thought you lost will have way more respect for you now for standing your ground and not backing down, right? So
They might even listen to you talk about the Earth being flat.
It's a fucking
Look,
sphere, but whatever. It's a
my
dodecagon.
my mom entertained the idea with me in conversation for like 30 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was like, she knows we can go to the moon? This is crazy. My dad's totally sure we went to the moon. But my
I'm
mom,
still on
like,
the fence.
she was like, well, I don't think we went to the moon. And as soon as you can get that one in their head, then like all bets are off. At least in regards to space, because like if they fake that, they can fake all the shit.
Yeah.
They didn't even fake that well. Anyway,
God.
I just totally hijacked what you're saying. But it's true. I mean, like they see you stand your ground on one thing, and then they're like, man, what else maybe are they possibly right about? Because, you know, we've been in this shit, some of us, for years, questioning the narratives.
Yep. But I mean, just to wrap up what I was saying, I think that you might have an opportunity, right, especially as Libra season goes on, to reconnect with some of these people that you may have lost touch with or may have gotten cut off with. And it'll be really important to not come into those conversations with a, yeah, bitch, pff, suck my dick, because guess what? They're not going to be receptive, okay? It's our job to be, okay, it's my job. You can follow my lead if you want, but it's my job to be as open and loving as I possibly can be, even though a couple months ago some of these people were telling you that they wanted you to die. Yeah, I know, it's fucking crazy. But some of them are going to be just realizing, oh my God, they were right. And that's a hard pill to swallow, especially if you have been like doubling down on your position and you were actually wrong the whole time. It's a hard pill to swallow. So wherever you can be as open with them as you can be, right? And as level-headed as you can be, and just you know, approach with open arms whenever possible. And that's all I gotta say.
Right on. So I've got a mudra called Makara mudra, which means mythical sea creature. Very appropriate, at least for me, when talking about coffee stuff, because it's like a kidneys mudra. So the benefits to this mudra, it says, improves memory, strengthens the kidneys, helps relieve low back pain, nourishes the hair. People are worried about hair loss lately, and generally restores energy reserves. So might look like a confusing mudra at first, but it's not that hard. You start by joining the ring finger and the thumb of the left hand together. Just covered in cat hair now. So try this at home. Ring finger to thumb on the left hand. All right. Then you take this right hand right here, and you take the webbing between the index finger and the thumb on the right hand, and you slide it in between the pinky and the ring finger. And then the back of the hand is covering, or the fingers are covering the back of the left hand. And then upside down, as you can see, the pinky is like wedged in there on the palm of the right hand, and the right thumb is touching the base of the left thumb. So I'll show the card so you can, because I can't really show my other side of my hands. It looks like that. Yeah. Here's what it looks like up close.
Straight thumb, not bent.
Straight thumb. Yeah. Straight thumb. Thumb straight to other thumb, basically to the base of the other thumb. It's not too tough.
Like a this? Like a this?
I don't know. It's upside down. Looks like that. Looks like that.
Okay, yeah. Just like tuck it behind the mound of flesh thing. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. So you hold this mudra, you breathe into the kidneys and imagine and visualize an ocean of deep blue water in your lower back area, and sending that cooling, energizing, refreshing, nourishing water to your kidneys and your adrenals, and thus to your entire body. So, you know, maybe this is the mudra to try out for me whenever I'm like feeling tired without coffee and my adrenals are trying to reset by getting the break from the caffeine. You know, like instead of breaking under that pressure, I'm going to do this mudra and just hold it for 5 minutes and see if I get some beneficial effect and can let go of that thing. That looks right, but the fingers can be, the fingers on the back are not curved. They're like, yeah.
Oh,
No, they
they're not
are. They're
curved?
like flat against the back of the hand. Yeah.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Looks
just
like
like
that.
wrapping it around like that.
Yeah, it looks like that.
I don't know. I can't see your hand. That's so too far away.
It's like a lot of
You throwing gang signs at me, son?
You know what? I'm gonna put the picture and the instructions in the Kaylee Burkana Telegram channel.
Thank you. Skeletor, thanks you again.
Until next time.
I love that meme though. It's so funny.
3 hours and 30 minutes, 33. Illuminati confirmed. I'm out.
Oh, wait. JLo wants a card from you.
Oh my God.
JLo, you got it just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time. One more from you, sir, please. One more. Oh, JLo. She doesn't have a question. She just wants one from each of us.
All right. We got this.
And then you can go. And then I'll do Charlotte. Thanks, buddy. One for JLo.
JLo?
Oh, JLo. JLo. I love you, girl.
We got companionship from the I Ching, which is number 13. Companionship is about the elemental dynamic of yang supported by the clinging or the fire energy. So basically, this is letting you know that like the real bonds between us that are really connected and rooted and strong and healthy and respectful type of companionship, that real level of authentic friendship comes from having our passions and support, or our what it is that we're clinging to is pure self-awareness, pure spiritual awareness. So basically, like, you find the best friends and the best companions by pursuing that which you know is aligned with your spirit. And what it is that passionate is such a loaded word. Now that I know more about the etymology of it, I don't even like to use it, but like what you truly have care for on a deep heart level, if you're pursuing that, that's where you meet and connect and bond with the best people. And it is what brings out the best in the people around you that are, companions of fortune more than companions of choice. And that would refer to family members as well. So the companionship hexagram, letting you know that the strongest bonds come between those who have shared goals. So family members often do have shared goals, and that's part of what can help them bond. But the best goals to share are the ones that are most aligned with your true spirit and your true calling, and that which can help expand your awareness and thus level of consciousness. That's the real best type of companionship.
I love that. They say that, like, JLo, I know you're not dating or interested in dating or anything like that, but they say that real love is not staring into each other's eyes, but staring in the same direction. So just to add on to what Chaz was just saying, that's really cool. So what I pulled for you, my dear, was Rebirth.
Yall.
It was Rebirth, i.e. the Judgment card. See the man there. It's a naked baby, so yeah. But anyway, Rebirth, i.e. Judgment. I know you like get messages and shit, so I know you don't have any trouble accepting that kind of stuff, but I'm wondering if maybe there's a shift in the direction that needs to happen, The other card that I got for you, actually, I pulled two, just, I might be playing favorites, I'm not gonna lie, but I looked under the deck, and Strength was there as well. I like this version of Strength, it's cool with the wild boar. Anyway, this really ties into what Chance was saying about the need to be guided by your passion, right? So if you have a passion for something and it's really calling you, like literally really calling you, follow that passion, right? If you're getting messages that you need to, you are getting messages, comma, that you need to follow, period. It's pretty simple. Yeah, dude. But yeah, I mean, as long as I've got polls to do, I'll stick around until a point. I am getting a bit of a headache, so I probably need more water. But also, it's 3.5 hours. That's a lot of tarot and astrology. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, Charlotte, my dear girl. You type me a paragraph. Hold on, I'm going to open it again. You saw a woman dancing today while in class? Cool. Do you dance? Do you like dancing? For some reason, I can't see you not dancing. I don't know. Gotta open this back up again, cause it closed. I'm not gonna lie, not having the microphone is freeing. Yep. Okay. What did you say? Charlie. Tresemme. Ooh la la. Okay, sorry. Alright. Okay. I'm not going to read this out loud, but just rereading it here real quick. So, Sag rising, Leo moon, Libra sun. Don't know where to start. Overwhelmed. Okay. Yep. If you do it all at once, yeah. I can feel that. Okay. Outsider's unbiased perspective on maybe which to tackle first, perhaps. Hey, you know what? Dancing is great for you. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh shit. I'm so sorry. Goddamn commercials, eh? I apologize if that brought up anything. I apologize if that brought up anything. But if it did bring up anything, maybe that is a really great entry point for you to go into to address something that's there, right? If it was triggering. If it wasn't triggering, then don't worry about it. But oh man. Interesting. I mean, that could be a great entry point for what needs to be purged, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Good. Just making sure. Oh, man. All right. So what I got for you, my dear. Hopefully this can help you answer your question. So the first card that flipped out was the King of Pentacles. All right. So with King of Pentacles, there's a focus on the body. There's a focus on stabilizing the body. So, and yeah, that's kind of interesting because she wrote, I feel like a car that won't start. So, yeah. I think that's part of, I mean, sometimes there's a message in the song. Sometimes it's like, it's it's not always a logical kind of like connection for me. Sometimes it's like just literally like it pops into my head and it fits and it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. So yeah. No, it's all good, buddy. JLo, it happens all the time. Yeah. If I hear something and it sounds like a lyric, the song is like right there. Okay, so anyway, King of Pentacles. All right. This is about stabilizing, right? This is a Taurus card. So it's about stabilizing. It's about making sure that your bases, your basic needs are taken care of. So when it comes to like detoxing and purging and like parasite cleanses and all of that kind of stuff, the very first step always should be a colon cleanse. So just putting that out there. So if you want to do any of the other steps, start with that first. Start with your basics. So begin there for your research and just start simply, right? Like Taurus is about simplicity. It's about art. It's ruled by Venus, right? But it's about making sure that you have the simple basic stuff taken care of first. Making sure that your 3D stuff is taken care of before you add anything that's going to stress the body out, or before you add anything that's going to stress your mind out or your emotions out, right? We talked about before, your last reading was for your husband and he's getting ready to start his own business, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty already in the air, right? By the way, how's that going? I hope he's doing well with his planning phase. But anyway, while that stuff is in the air and uncertain, I would say to make sure that you're doing the best that you can to just take care of the really simple, basic things for yourself. So, yeah, like something really, really simple is, especially since the song about hair came up, what are you doing for your hair care these days? Do you have, like, what's your routine with that? We were talking about, in Michelle's group, we were talking about using an apple cider vinegar rinse in place of conditioner. And like, you know, that's just one little thing that I've started implementing into my routine that has helped me cut out some of the conditioner and shampoo that I use. I mean, I still use them, but just less. And it's slightly less toxins going on my body, right? And it's just one more thing that I'm doing for myself that I've made into a regular routine that is helping me feel better, you know? So keep it simple, keep it really, really simple, and establish something slowly over time. And then it'll be easier to build on from there. And especially if you're feeling a lot of overwhelm, whenever you feel that overwhelm, stop what you're doing. Good night, Gabe. Love you. Oh, nice. Cool. I like that you do that already. But yeah, whenever you're feeling that overwhelm, it's a signal. It's a signal, really. It's a sign that you're in fight or flight. So if you find yourself like ruminating and really in your head and just totally overwhelmed, stop whatever you're doing. Stop thinking. Stop doing, and bring yourself back into your body, right? There are a ton of tips out there on YouTube, even, of different tools that you can use to get yourself out of fight or flight and freeze and back into your body. One of my favorites, actually, is using something cold. Using something cold and putting it on your cheeks, on your temple, on your forehead. You can use an ice cube. Ice cubes work really, really well. And pairing that with a little bit of a breathing practice. Like, quite literally, you guys, I have gone through a lot of therapy. Okay, a lot of therapy. And I put myself into rehab a couple of times, right? And on the second time going through, literally the second time going through, I really came to realize that I was going to use or engage in really destructive behaviors when I was in a state of fight or flight. So the key for me to stopping those behaviors and literally doing fucking drugs was I had to learn how to get out of fight or flight. And there's no possible way for you to use any of your cognitive skills until you are back in your body. So really excellent tip. Anytime you're feeling that overwhelm, grab something cold. Right? That's just one tool in my toolkit that I'll use. Grab something cold, put it on your forehead, on your temple, on your cheeks, right? Just literally, and then pair it with some really gentle breathing. And that will help bring you back into your body. And then you can begin to address the things that were causing the overwhelm in the first place. It's all about the body, baby. Okay. I hope that helped. All right. Oh, cool. Do you keep rocks in your freezer? Because that'd be smart. You could do that. And yeah, alternate nozzle breathing. Fuck yeah. If it works, great. Yeah, if it doesn't work, then try the cold rocks or the ice cubes or whatever. Those are like literally that's my favorite. I also like using essential oils for and just focusing on the smell. And that helps bring me back into my body, or a spice, like a spicy tea. Like I love chai. Ideally not something that is caffeinated, because the point is to bring yourself into your body, not to make it worse. So so anyway, you can put cinnamon in your tea, and literally just sit there and just focus on what that feels like in your mouth and what it tastes like, right? Yeah, dude. And just keep going back to those practices over and over and over again, and that'll help when you're feeling overwhelmed. Yeah. So it's all about the slow and steady build. Okay, my friends. I think that is all. Last call. Then I'm out of here. Man, almost 4 hours. You guys are wow. You guys are amazing. Thank you for coming out. Happy Monday. Thank you to anybody who's watching this later that's not here live. You guys are awesome. Also, thank you to the one Odyssey viewer. You were awesome. I love you. Cool. I love you guys. Have a wonderful week. Good luck on this full moon. Good luck on this full moon. You guys got that. You got this. You got this. I believe in you. I believe in you. Except for you, Capricorn. Good luck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You'll be fine. Okay. Nice. 12:46. Yeah. It was late as fuck. Okay. Good night.